for tonight's game are Mark Evert and Jakub Schindel, the referees. David Kluchek and John Waleski are the linesmen. And a remarkable story in goal for Slovakia. 18-year-old Adam Gajan did not dress for the first game for the Slovaks. He was their #3 goaltender. He's won the #1 spot, and he's been terrific for them with a .939 save percentage. And for Canada, it is 19-year-old Thomas Milic from Coquitlam, BC. He plays for the Seattle Thunderbirds in the Western Hockey League. He also sporting a .939 save percentage. Ivan Fenish, second year as the head coach of the Slovak national junior team, also spent time as the head coach of their under-18 program. And Dennis Williams, the 43-year-old from Stratford, Ontario, first time coaching the Canadian national junior team. He's the head coach and general manager of Everett in the Western Hockey League. A packed house again here tonight. An electric atmosphere. And if Canada wins tonight, it's on to the semifinals against the United States. Canada's the home team, has the last change. And moved ahead by Simon Nemec, the second overall pick in last summer's NHL draft, picked by New Jersey. He's playing for Utica in the American Hockey League. And he'll get lots of time on the ice here tonight. Shane Wright. Up for Brendan Othman. He finds Dylan Gunther. Othman back after it. Nemec plays that away. Funtek plays it back down to the Canadian zone where Olin Zellweger's back to pick it up. Canada beat Slovakia 11-1 in the August World Junior Championship. Zellweger was +7 in that game. Logan Stankoven has that poke back in the corner. And Brant Clark goes back after it. Moves behind the goal for a moment. Milan Nemec poked at that. And picked up by Bedard. Up for Stankoven. Rick Whitey goes to Clark. Brant Clark drops. Bedard winds back. Connor Bedard works it back towards the goal. Backdoor pass by Waugh. That's picked up by Maxim Sturback. Clark back in for Stankoven. Stankoven through the slot. Feeds that down. Waugh fell off balance. Waugh gets back on it. Crisscrossing here with Stankoven. And Logan Stankoven tries to pull that free. Stankoven steps into Chernik, who plays it back down to the Canadian zone. Slovaks are changing. Bedard winds back in. Finds Dean with the backhand shot that goes wide. Now loose at the side of the goal. Picked off by Clark, but now moved back ahead. Ranging back is Zach Ostapchuk for it. On New Year's Eve, got a game misconduct for kneeing. Knocked him out of the game, and that lead pass misfired. Icing called. And so Connor Bedard enters this game on a remarkable and unprecedented roll. A chance to break the all-time record for points by a Canadian at the World Junior Championship. He's also got the career goals target in tight. He's tied with Jordan Eberle.
The expectations were high, and he has
exceeded them
by a mile. Now, Slovakia obviously watched the game against Sweden in the 10-minute onslaught that Canada had to begin with.
Gaudreau plays it back down after the face-off win by the Slovaks. Zach Dean goes after it. And a tangle in the corner. Back at the point. That shot was blocked. And Joseph Kamenz got that away. Another chance. That stopped Clark. Plays it back around. Knocked down by Grohl. That's fired wide by Simon Grohl. Held by Kamenz. Plays it back into the Canadian zone. And back to pick it up is Nolan Allen. Ostapchuk up for Dean. That was poked away. Walked back in by Bucho. Shoots. And someone swatted that away. Dean. He's there for Tyson Hines. Shipped ahead by Ostapchuk. Moved back in by Funtek. Shotek goes after it as Hines gets into him. Move back around to Nemec. Back out there for Slovakia. Comes up on the forecheck. Hines back with it. Plays it back around. Nemec retreats to his blue line position. Fantilli pokes it there, but Nemec keeps it alive. Puck deflected wide by Hines. Move back in front. Fantilli on it. Nemec knocked down and brought back up by Bankier. Hayden Bankier with Evan Korchinski moving in. Bankier, a backdoor pass for Fantilli, just missed. Nemec back with it. Lifts that back ahead as Canada changes. And rolls right down to Milic. Plays it back across for Zellweger.
Fantilli handles that clean. He's almost in alone.
Zellweger skates away from Meshar. And in comes Zellweger with it. Knocked away by Nutney. Retreating is Ethan Del Mastro to pick it up for Canada. Del Mastro up for Zellweger. Chips it back out of the Slovak zone. Slovaks 28th straight year in the top division of the World Junior Championship since the Czech-Slovak split in their promotion. They've never been relegated. They've flirted with it. They've finished one spot above relegation 5 times. Dylan Gunther works it and shoots. And getting a stick on that was Simon Gros. Now back at the point is Del Mastro. Plays it back across. Up and shoots. That's deflected away. Gunther spins and fires in the leg. Chernik on it. To the line but not out. Gunther. His pass broken up. And brought out by Nutney. A lead pass. Dvorsky comes in, shoots, and Milic makes the save on that. Dvorsky couldn't quite get a stick on that. And I'll move back at center ice. Adam Sikora plays it back across. A long shot by Dvorsky is stopped by Milic.
Milic not quite sure whether to get out of the crease on this slow development play. Dvorsky's trying to get to it. Milic's probably going to get out there. That's below the hash marks again. He's got to take that puck away from Dvorsky. Part of that was Canada's best sequence. Shane Wright, Gunther, Brennan Hoffman line, moving the puck around, getting it down to the front of the net. And this is where Canada does a lot of good work. Out-muscling guys, getting the defense scrambling around, getting the puck to the front of the net.
Off the draw, Hines gets to it. And Bedard lays that down to Hines. Lead pass for Waugh is broken up. And brought back in by Funtek. Bedard also tied for the most tournament points in a single tournament by a 17-year-old with Jaromir Jagr. That long shot got through from Nemitz. And the save made by Milic. And the Slovaks have the first 5 shots of the period.
Milic settling this one. I imagine for both teams there would be some nerves knowing what's at stake. If they do not win today, their tournaments are over. And Milic mishandled the first puck, but made a couple of good saves since then. It was at his very best against Sweden. And through the legs is not only for in front of the net, apparently it's also for along the boards to create the angle necessary to make the good pass.
Face off in the Canadian zone. Nathan Gaucher for the face off against Petrovsky. Loose puck goes to Petrovsky. Plays that back to Nemitz. That shot was blocked by Ostapchuk. Goes back to Nemitz. Nemitz works in, shoots. Ostapchuk got a stick on that. Milic knocks it away. Still loose in front. Petrovsky couldn't reach it. And Zellweger plays it around for Del Mastro. Ostapchuk knocked down by Nemitz. And the puck back down to the Slovak zone. Philip Meshar plays out ahead. Meshar, the Montreal first rounder. Sturback goes back, taken by Dean. That was poke checked away. Ostapchuk goes after it. Petrovsky, lead pass for Meshar, one-on-one with Matier. Slovaks are changing, but Meshar buys some time. It leaves the zone, and the Slovaks have to regroup. Here's Hines back with it. High off the glass at center ice. Gunther chipped that back down to the Slovak line. Lead pass to Frantisek Day. That's knocked down by Hines. Tap back by Hoffman for Wright. In comes Shane Wright with Dylan Gunther. Wright trying to drop that back for Hoffman. That's broken up, and now Wright back on it. Wright spins it back in the corner for Hoffman. Notney stepped into Wright. Now it's picked up by Hoffman. Flips it back in time. Tipped wide by Gunther. Gunther back at the point for Clark. Brad Clark shoots. It got through. Save made by Guyan. Rebound. Wright battling for it. And Guyan has it.
Scrum ensues after Seek was a chance of starting on the forecheck. Brennan Hoffman knocks over his guy. Gets a turnover. Puts that in front of Gunther. Almost gets that one through. And you're right. This one's tipped up high by Hoffman. Oh, boy. Almost tucked it underneath the pads. It's true. Good quickness by Guyan to squeeze that one, or good fortune, one or the other. But that's how Canada wants to play. Physical on the forecheck, turn pucks over, create a little panic in the defensive team, and then go to work.
So Canada has its first 3 shots of the period. Stankoven comes back out with Waugh and Bedard. Clark and Korchinski on the back end. And Dvorsky once again for the face-off. The draft-eligible Slovak loses that clean into Stankoven. Waugh pulls that free. Joshua Waugh winds it and shoots. Bouncing puck in front, bounced away, kept alive by Korchinski. Slide that down to Stankoven. Stankoven fans on the shot. Tries to gather it back up, and does, but it's now poked back out. Stolen by Stankoven. In for Bedard. Here he comes, scores! Canada's all-time goal-scoring leader. With one shot, he moves by Eberle for goals, and Lindros for points. All-time for Canada.
The one guy you cannot turn the puck over with. Right here, the attempt to clear it by Furtek, turns it over to Stankoven, and then Bedard hanging behind. That's the exact same goal he scored on the breakaway the other night. Quick hands, backhand, forehand, above the pad, below the glove. Scored like the best goal scorer Canada's ever seen in this tournament. No mistake.
Connor Bedard, the 17-year-old from North Vancouver, BC. Grew up idolizing Sidney Crosby. Now a turnover. Right shoots from a sharp angle. The guy makes the save. Right back again. Puck went through his feet. Zellweger moves up. Zellweger. For Gunther with a shot. Guy kicks that away. Guy got the late caller goal for Slovakia just before Christmas, was playing for the Green Bay Gamblers of the USHL. Now back across. Zellweger fans and that one-timer. I'm going to guess those Canada number 16s are gone from the concession stands already.
Get a rush order on the next batch. The way he's going, unbelievable stuff every single game.
Now the most points ever by a 17-year-old in one World Junior Championship. He passes Jaromir Jagr. Some pretty good names on that list in the history of this tournament. Chip back down to the Slovak zone. Sturbach goes back, being watched there by Bankier, who steps into him. Pass ahead. Mishak moves in. Hines stays with him. Mishak with a soft shot away. And Village makes a stop on that. Hines and Mishak are jawing behind the play and jousting. And now Allen taken down. Hines up ahead for Bankier. Caden Bankier sends it ahead for Adam Fantilli. In comes Fantilli. Shoots! And Guyan makes the stop on that. Oh, look out. Bankier took a cross-check in the back of the head. Mishak comes in.
He got him pretty good in behind the net.
Canada's got the 1-0 lead. And Connor Bedard has written his name alone in the record book.
Hey, what are we doing for the Chevrolet Good Deeds Cup this year? As much as we can! That's good! What about donating clothes? That's good. Washing cars? Got Mom an ice cream?
I was tempted by the idea of simple investing, but I really missed RBC's expertise. I guess a one-size-fits-all approach might work for some, not me. Now I'm back to the personalized advice I need.
This month at Harvey's, you can get 2 flame-grilled burgers for just $8. Make it an original, veggie, or one of each, and top them just the way you like with our 11 sauces and 14 toppings. That's 2 burgers for $8, only till January 29th. Harvey's, it's a beautiful thing.
Connor Bedard has the opening goal of this hockey game and now passes Jordan Eberle for first place on Canada's all-time goal-scoring list. John Tavares, Jeff Carter, Eric Lindros tied for third at 12. The all-time tournament record is 27. Pavel Bure in 3 World Juniors, 89, 90, and 91.
If he played in the third, which he will not, I'd like his chances.
Now, meantime, right before we went to break, there was a pretty nasty cross-check by David Notney. Check this out at the end of the play. Notney, number 5. Pardon me, it's Zonka.
Zonka, that
9.
And I know Bankier's falling over, but he comes through right with a stick right in the back of the head, and no penalties. The referees, more than any other game that we have seen so far in this tournament, is letting the players play and not calling fouls that they have been calling all tournament long.
Canada's now scored first in all 5 of its games in this World Junior Championship. Stankoven back out there with Bedard and Waugh. Stankoven draws the assist on the goal by Bedard. Stankoven continues his strong play at the World Junior Championship.
Add another primary assist to his tally. Quite a run of his own.
Waugh looking ahead for Bedard. Picks it out. In comes Connor Bedard. Shoots him a sharp angle. And Guyan makes a save on that and hangs up. And another one. Stankoven takes it this time.
He got someone's getting something.
Footcheck.
And here they go after Bedard. Watch him get after Bedard in the front of the net as well.
Mishak went after Bedard.
Here comes Repchik. This is part of their plan. They talked about it. And the multiple fouls that they're going to take.
Right now the linesman's pointing at 2 players.
First, here's the chance. The tight angle shot almost catches Guyan off the post. He battles it around a little bit. And then gets pretty nasty here. Like the up and over. That's a cross check from behind and a cross check in the front. Nemitz, Futek, one of the 2 has got to get a penalty in that sequence.
There is one to the Slovaks, but Bedard's gone off for Canada as well.
Team Slovakia, number 7, 2 minutes for cross check, and 23, 2 minutes for rough, and for Canada, 2 minutes for rough.
So an extra penalty goes to Slovakia. Canada will get a power play here.
But Bedard is in the box as Mishak and Bedard take coincidental minors, and they do get Nemitz for the first cross check.
And Tom Bedard, Connor Bedard's dad's not impressed.
And the question becomes, you know, how much are you going to let go? How much are you going to push back? Because if this starts happening every whistle, tempers will get heated in a hurry. But the thing about Connor Bedard, though, Gord, he's used to teams trying to do this to him.
Yeah.
And he's been used to it for years. Anything they can try to get him off his game, whether it's physical, whether it's talking to him, whether it's pushing and shoving, whatever it might be, he just keeps on playing. First of all, pretty good release there. Mishak chasing around, slashing the stick out of his hand. That draws a little pushback. And Bedard gets it to Mishak first. He's only making the worst of it at the end. That's probably worth a coincidental minor. Even though Connor Bedard doesn't like it. So now we'll see how the power play works without him out there.
Canada 12 for 21 of the power play. Dylan Gunther leads the way. All 4 of his goals in the tournament have been scored on the man advantage. White wins the faceoff back to Zellweger. Feeds across to Gunther. Dylan Gunther shoots. Guyan save. Rebound loose in front. Othman got a whack at that. And Guyan holds on. And we got a scrum after every whistle now.
And it's just a matter of time. The referees are going to go to both benches and say, that's it. We're going to start pulling one guy. And that will slow it down. But Gunther letting that wrist shot go. Rebound right there for Othman to get a piece of. Just a little late to it. Fights it off. We have Stankoven taking Bedard's spot on the power play. Not a bad replacement.
Right for the face-off against Peter Repchik. Plays for Charlottetown in the Quebec Major Junior League. The face-off won by Repchik, but the line held. Zellweger skipped over his stick and will race for it. Ribak coming in, and that's poked away. Out Sikora, rather. Poked away by Zellweger. And here is Zellweger with it. Lead pass to Gunther. Gunther across to Othman. Othman, rink wide to right, shoots! Ripped that just high. Zellweger pulls the line again. Feeds across to Stankoven. Stankoven back to Zellweger. Long wrist shot goes off a leg and wide, picked up by Gunther. Back to Zellweger. Looks across to Stankoven. Walks in, Othman feeds it back across. It bounces back to Zellweger. Zellweger to Stankoven. Stankoven holds and shoots. That goes off a stick, up and out of play.
A close call for Canada on a bouncing puck that gets by Zellweger. He's got to turn on the jets to try to track down Sikora. Is a speedy player of his own, and that is really good skating from a standstill. Connor Bedard will appreciate. Turn that chance aside.
Adam Sikora, a Rangers second rounder, played for Slovakia in the under-18s, the World Junior, and the World Championship last year. Here's Clark with it. Frank Clark back across to Joshua Waugh. 50 goal scorer last year in the Q. That's knocked wide by Fantilli. Gaucher back to Fantilli. Adam Fantilli Slides that back to Clark. Clark for Waugh. Walks across Fantilli, shoots a cue that wide. And now played back down the ice by the Slovaks.
That pass can be a little bit further back for Fantilli. He's got a lot of net to shoot at.
Clark, lead pass for Dean. Waugh pokes at it, and Gaucher comes after it. 35 seconds to go on the power play. Joshua Waugh feeds that back, but Clark wasn't there in time. And here is Brent Clark. One of 3 NHL players loaned to Team Canada, playing with the LA Kings this year. Gaucher spins back along the boards, holds the puck. Tied up by Sikora, leaves it there for Dean. Zach Dean for Fantilli. Fantilli goes back to Clark. Crossing goes to Waugh, bounced off his stick. Waugh flips that back to Clark. Final second down the power play. Dean across to Fantilli, in, shoots, hit Gaucher with it. Now Fantilli winds back and fires again. And the save is made by Guyan. As the penalty expires, and again, after the whistle, more rough stuff. Sikora into Dean.
Couple good looks on the power play. Good puck retrieval with Fantilli. Good chance to go far side. Actually, you're right, catches Gaucher in his hips, and then one more time with no screen in front, Guyan able to make the saves. Like, see that shooting mentality, especially with the awareness that as the power play is expiring, better to get to the net. See what can happen, and then more of this.
And the 2 officials, Schindel and Evert, have gone to the 2 benches, as you talked about, perhaps to issue warnings about after the whistle scrums.
Question is, the challenge is just maintaining your poise, not getting frustrated, looking for the extra pop, give a little extra shove, a little extra cross check. Just put your team down a man.
Petrovsky for the face-off. He plays for Owen Sound in the OHL. Wins that draw away from right. Funtak. Up ahead for Philip Meshar. He finds Petrovsky. That long shot knocked away. And here's Simon Nemec with it. Nemec played in the under-18s, the World Junior, the World Championship, and the Olympics last year for Slovakia, where they won a bronze medal, one of the greatest accomplishments in that country's history. Lead pass to right just missed, and icing called against Canada.
Well, it has been a pretty banner year for Slovakian hockey. And you think about their Olympic medal, which was wildly celebrated. And you think about the draft picks. Yuri Slafkovsky going first overall.
He's not here. He's with Montreal.
Nemec number 2. Meshar as well. The first round.
Dvorsky for the face-off against right. Dalibor Dvorsky is draft eligible. Plays for AIK Stockholm in the Swedish Allsvenskan, their second league. Hoffman chops at that, knocks it back to center ice. Now kick back down, let the linesman skate as David Notney goes back to pick it up. Slovaks have 14 players back from the Summer World Junior in Edmonton. Now Waugh puts it in for Stankoven. Logan Stankoven moves in. Long shot. And the save made by Guyan. 1-0 the score here in the first period. Quarterfinal day at the 2023 World Juniors.
With dementia, you're adrift. By combining research with a full spectrum of care, Baycrest is pioneering breakthroughs. No other organization leads more researchers working to defeat dementia. We believe 50% of dementia cases can be prevented, but we need your help. Donate now, and together, we'll create a future without fear.
Come on over. Bring your appetite. Bring a friend. Bring a few. Our home is your home. Let us give you the tour. Then you can relax. And a little later, we'll even put on a show. New Brunswick, always inviting.
9:15 to go here in the first period. Slovakia with the 3 first-round picks, the first ever first overall pick. They follow up with a second overall, Simon Nemec and then Meshar. These guys are all childhood friends, especially Meshar and Slafkovsky.
A great picks of the 2 of them together after the draft.
A remarkable year for them. You think back to some of the great moments in Slovak hockey, the 2002 World Championship, they won gold there. They've got some pretty impressive goaltending performances for 2 bronze medals in this tournament. 1999 in Winnipeg. In 2015 in Toronto. In 99, it was Jan Lashak. He beveled Roberto Luongo to a scoreless tie in a game in Brandon. The Slovaks went on to win bronze. And Dennis Goalie in 2015 in the tournament's top goaltender. Got a thunderous standing ovation at the end of that tournament. And the Slovaks won their second bronze. Lead pass for Waugh. That misfired. Sturback goes back. Waugh steals it from him. Waugh throws it back in front for Bedard. Couldn't find his equipment. Now Stankoven back with it. Stankoven winds his way back. Logan Stankoven drops it off. In comes Del Mastro. Feeds it back in front. Bedard tapped that wide. Zellweger winds in and shoots. Bad save and a good one by Guyan. And the rebound cleared out by Libor Nemec. Not related to Simon Nemec. Del Mastro moves out, plays it up for Stankoven. Stankoven flips that back down to the Slovak zone. You can tell Guyan wasn't in the Slovaks' plans. He doesn't have team equipment. Still wearing his Green Bay Gamblers stuff from the USHL.
He's in their plans now because
he's their guy.
He's the guy. Everyone thinks about Connor Bedard and his great goal scoring, his release, and yeah, that's all there. But it's more than that. Watch how you have to work. Simon Nemec, big, strong defender. You got to work to get open, move your stick, and he does. With the quick feet and the quick hands, he's able to bounce around Nemec. Eventually find a way to get his stick on this potential pass in front with that great work. I say Notney. Nemec wears 5 in his club team.
Yes.
Previous national team's spots, he was wearing 5.
And the interesting thing was those draft eligible players last year were really good for Slovakia at the World Championship. Repchik took down right, and the puck moved over the head of Clark as Korchinski goes back. Kevin Korchinski, the Chicago first-round pick, swings back. Banks it back to center ice. Hoffman looking for it. Plays that back down to the Slovak line. Mishak. Goes that lookout. Boy, rocking to the Canadian bench that just missed the head coach, Dennis Williams.
Coming in hot. You better hope one of the guys got his gloves up there to protect the coaching staff. Seam pass gone awry.
Dennis Williams has his voice back after being ill earlier this week.
Barely moved. Troy always there to clean it up. He's a versatile guy. Do a little bit of everything.
Earlier today, Sweden with a nail-biting comeback win against Finland. A late goal to tie it, even later goal to win it in regulation. Czechia with a big win here today against Switzerland. United States beat Germany. Now Canada takes on Slovakia in the final quarterfinal game. Slovaks have the first 5 shots in the game. Since then, it's 12-2 Canada. Kuntak. Look ahead. That was broken up by Gaucher. Poke ahead by Dean. Dean in across the line. Drops it off. Gaucher flips it back in front. Backdoor pass missed again. This time for Dean. And Dean drops that back. Matier. Tries to bank it back around. Del Mastro. Swings back behind the goal. Inside 7 to go here in the opening period. Tomorrow a day off at the World Junior Championship. The first game here today, relegation side, Latvia beat Austria in the first game of that best-of-3 relegation series. Bedard moves in. They'll play game 2 on Wednesday as well. Dvorsky, rink-wide pass. There's Chernik. Allen goes back, ice and called against Slovakia. So this is the 3rd game of the day on this ice surface.
Be a challenge for any ice surface, let alone in a week that's been as warm as this week has been with as much activity on this ice surface. Connor Bedard getting a big gap, but he's not afraid to challenge guys one-on-one, and even on an icing. Sikora having a little conversation with Connor Bedard. So Slovakia holding true to their plan. They said they want to make it physical. They want to make it unpleasant as much as they can for Connor Bedard, and they're trying to. It's rare when you're planning on kind of like skirting the rules that you make it so public, but they have, and they are.
Stankoven, the #1 face-off man of the tournament, coming in at 85%. Lost that draw, which is rare. Natney. Back around to Dvorsky, chips out of race for it now. Sikora going on Allen. Icing waved off, and Sikora picks that up. Adam Sikora. with his neck guard dangling, as they often do here. Chernik with it. Back for Grove. Brings that back across to Kometz. That was blocked by Waugh. Kometz gets it back and shoots. Milic saved. The rebound skipped away from Chernik. Grove shoots. Goes off the end boards and wide. Dvorsky back on it. Dvorsky back for Kometz. That shot flutters down towards the goal. Picked up. Dvorsky a chance. That was blocked. And Chernik just missed on the rebound. Grove. Back across. Matney moves in. Or Kometz, rather. It was moved out by Waugh. Back down to the Slovak zone. Igor Nemetz plays in Finland. Slavkovsky played last year. That's stolen by Owen Beck. Getting his first shift for Canada. Got the call on Saturday night late when Colton Dock got hurt. He was a late cut for the Canadian selection camp. So the native of Port Hope, Ontario draws in for Canada. Fantilli, rink wide to Beck. Here he comes with Bankier. Beck shoots. Glove save. Rebound. Bankier tries to slide that back. Igor Nemetz. Moves that back ahead. Mesher has it taken away by Fantilli.
Flash coming up.
Beck got his stick slashed out of his hand, so Canada's going back to the power play. Zellweger banks that to Fantilli. Gunther comes on as the extra skater. As Fantilli moves in and shoots. Gaia knocks that away. Right back on it. Drops that back to Dylan Gunther. He regroups as Zellweger gathers it back up. Lead pass to Gunther. Chips that back ahead. Gunther goes after it. Laid back around to right. Shane Wright back to Clark. Clark drops it off to Bedard. Walks in, holds, gets it back, feeds it back. Backhand shot wide by Hoffman. Hoffman back for Bedard. Bedard dances around Repchi. Shoots again. That's blocked. He gets it right back and fires. It goes off a stick up and out of play. And now Canada will get the power play. 4:13 to go here in the first period. Bedard buzzing, and Canada going back to the man advantage.
I was lured by their promises of retiring wealthier. But when I saw my returns, well, I guess that's why I never heard them talk about performance. With RBC, I'm back to feeling confident.
Fans, get your Hockey Canada gear at shop.hockeycanada.ca, the official online store of Hockey Canada, and the largest selection of Hockey Canada gear anywhere. Get jerseys, men's and women's tees, hoodies, headwear, and more. Don't miss out. Shop now and get today's special offer. Shop.hockeycanada.ca, a Fanatics experience.
The unfortunate injury on Saturday to Colton Dock. Shoulder injury, seen him with a sling walking around, unable to play again this tournament, which means Canada, if they wanted to, could add another player. They reached out to Owen Beck, who was a late cut. Bring him in last minute, dump him into the game, and oh yeah, welcome to the quarterfinals. His first shift, gets a pretty good look, glove side, gets in on the back check. He draws the penalty after turning a puck over. There's a slash on the stick, and so he is in the game and in the tournament.
Canada back on the power play. Zellweger to Bedard, who was in the box in the first one. Zellweger back across to Gunther. Dylan Gunther trying to throw that back. It was poke checked away by Natney. Zellweger drops that back to Bedard. Connor Bedard works it across the line. And Bedard drops that back to Zellweger. Owen Zellweger back for Bedard. Lots of traffic in front. Bedard drops that back to Zellweger for Bedard. Cross ice pass. Gunther, a hard shot. Giant save. Gunther back on it. Kept it alive for a moment. Now lifted back out by Petrovsky.
Dylan Gunther has 4 goals. He has 4 one-timers from his offside. Just like that.
Right. Reds that pass ahead, broken up by Sikora. Now a chance, short-handed for Repchi. In comes Repchi. Stopped in tight by Milic. And now they're going to call that play. They're going to say Milic froze it. And so the face-off will be in the Canadian zone with 58 seconds to go in the power play.
Massive save for Thomas Milic on the breakaway shorthanded. We've seen a slew of shorthanded opportunities today. Zellweger gets caught. Repchik pokes it loose and trying to go 5-hole. Milic able to get down, take it away. Let's go paddle down. Oh, it was open. He missed the spot. He caught the left pad instead of the 5-hole. That's a huge save for Thomas Milic.
Repchik part of the story when the Slovaks upset the United States, beat them 6-3. Here's Waugh with it. Spins that back for Fantilli. Adam Fantilli in across the line, puts it across to Gaucher. Gaucher fans on it. Bouncing puck. And on the second try, knocked to the line, but not out. Kept alive. Waugh was bowled over by Beauchamp. And now check for Stankoven at the goal post.
Just caught the outside of the post.
Robert Baggio just bowled over Joshua Waugh. Baggio plays at Moose Jaw in the Western League. Talked before the game about sticking close to Connor Bedard. Dropped off to Stankoven. Rossi goes to Fantilli. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Adam Fantilli moves in, holds, and throws that back to Clark. Rossi goes to Waugh. Waugh flips it back in, tapped back in front. And Gaucher couldn't find Stankoven. Stankoven banks it down, picked up by Sikora. Final seconds of the Canadian power play. Sikora works in. And Fantilli ranges back to take that away. One shot for Canada on that power play. Stankoven swings back through center ice. Logan Stankoven plays it back across to Hines. Up for Gaucher, who peels it down. And here's Nutney with it. Inside 2 to go in the first period. A 1-0 lead for Canada. That pass turned over by Nutney. Picked up by a Stapchuk. Becker shoots. And the save made by Gaia. Shipped ahead now. Bocha couldn't get by the forechecker. Bankier chips it right back down through the Slovak zone. Macho heads off. Kept alive by Allen. Reed Schaefer tried to center. Here's Bankier back with it. Bankier back across to Schaefer. And the Edmonton Oilers first-round pick. Battles for that. Allen ranges back. Slides it across to Tyson Hines. And banks that back down to the Slovak zone. Icing called against Canada.
You mentioned the big hit that Joshua Waugh took from Bacho. And he knew he was going to get hit. He has to come through this, poke the puck loose, walks right into a big hit, but it ends up on the Stankoven stick. And then here's the shot. Beats Guyan, but not the post. Toe drag to the middle. Good look at it there. A couple inches too far wide. But that's 2 power plays in the first period for Canada. No goals, which is unusual for their team this tournament.
Bankier stays up for the face-off, loses it. Here's Nimitz. Simon Nimitz. Across to Meshar, shoots. Milic save it on the rebound. Turns that away from Libor Nimitz. Hines looks ahead. Bankier pokes at it. Knocked down by a Stapchuk, and he plays it back to center ice. Final minute now, the opening period. Simon Nimitz plays it ahead. Picked up by Bankier. And Canada can start to change as Bankier lays it down to the Slovak zone. On come Hoffman, Gunther, and Wright for Canada. Libor Nimitz has it stolen away by Wright. Shane Wright, pass up for Hoffman. Native of Pickering, Ontario, just outside Toronto. Lead pass for Gunther. That's picked off by Simon Nimitz. Hoffman steals it right back, moving in with Wright. Hoffman barrels in, shovels that towards the goal, but stop made by Gaia.
Good idea when he sees a poke check coming, get it into the pads quickly.
Mastro goes back and across for Zellweger. Olin Zellweger, lead pass, missed Hoffman, icing called against the Canadians.
Brendan Hoffman's a big guy. Likes to get involved physically, but when he turns the corner, he's hard to handle going to the net. He gets a little half step on the edge. On Dvorsky, gets a hand out there. And there you see the poke check coming from Guyan. If you can time that right, there might be spot 5-hole. Tough to control where you shoot it with one hand, but the right idea from Brendan Hoffman.
Right for the face-off against Dvorsky. And Wright will get a warning. Dvorsky wins it back to Meshar. Meshar swings it across. That shot deflected just wide from Sturbach. Notney. Back down to Sikora. Zellweger steps into him as the time winds down here in the period. Dvorsky trying to kick it free. And Canada will go to the dressing room with a 1-0 lead after 20 minutes of play. And befitting the first period, a scrum breaks out at the end of 20 minutes.
Thunder, put your eye to the sky, boy, and wonder. Maybe there's a kingdom above the weather. Oh, and whether you're gonna get on in is up to him. Carry onward like some songbird, beautiful stranger.
It's about more than the goals they score. It's about life skills they learn. It's about friends they make. It's about their love for hockey. None of it would be possible without the assist you can provide. The Hockey Canada Foundation Assist Fund is breaking down barriers to get Canadian youth on the ice and in the game. Every child deserves the chance to play. Donate now at hockeycanadafoundation.ca.
Come on over. Bring your appetite. Bring a friend. Bring a few. Our home is your home. Let us give you the tour. Then you can relax. And a little later, we'll even put on a show. New Brunswick, always inviting.
The first intermission is brought to you by Destination Moncton Dieppe.
Your first intermission in Halifax, 1-0 Canada. Cheryl, Jeff, Bob ahead. But first, Canada's all-time World Junior goal-scoring leader and points leader, Connor Bedard with Kenzie Lalonde.
Connor, one shot, one goal is all it took. You surpassed Eric Lindros and Jordan Eberle for most points and goals at this tournament. How does it feel?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it at all. We're in a tough game here, obviously, so I'm not really focused on that right now.
When teams are focused on shutting you down, how do you approach that?
Pardon? All right, I don't know. I'm had it, for a while here, I think, and I just got to try to play my game, and I'm playing with some pretty good players, so they make it easy on me.
What has to happen for Canada to be successful tonight?
I think we got to play a little simpler. Sounds cliche. I feel like that's what we're saying when we're not going to our best. But when we got the guys we got, if we're in there and they're not gonna have a very good time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I knew he'd react exactly like that.
Yeah.
Because when we talked the other day, the records are nice and everything. He'll probably smile after the game when they ask him about it if they win the game.
Standard business for him.
Doesn't care.
No.
Just wants to win the game, wants to win the gold medal. Cheryl Pounder, Jeff O'Neill, and Bob McKenzie. Besides maybe an OT winner, is there a better way to break the goal record, the points record, than the first goal in a packed house in Canada of a quarterfinal game?
It's an unbelievable goal, James, and there's a golden rule in hockey. When a superstar player is on the ice, you cannot turn it over because it ends up on their stick when they're the last man back, and they're going to make you pay and put it into the net. Connor Bedard is hanging in the weeds, and the Slovaks are bringing the puck up the ice. This puck has got to get out of the zone right here. Stankoven is hiding behind that defender and pops out and gets it, and look whose stick it gets on, Connor Bedard. And this seems like one of his signature moves when he gets in tight. And it's a cool little move. It's called put it on your forehand, and the goaltender has no chance. It's my favorite move. You see it again against the Germans. Just forehand and bang, it's in the net, and the goaltender just basically has no chance. It's a shift to the right and in the back of the net.
1-0 against Connor Bedard. Can you just imagine? And what I loved on that goal was Stankoven as well, because he lost the puck on the wall, but then he recovered to the middle of the ice. And when he did that, he was able to recover the puck. But great vision by him as well on that play.
You're so true, Jeff. When he does that move, it feels like he's got an open net because his shot is that good.
It's a great move because nobody has any say about it. It's just in the back of the net.
And I'm going to guess that Adam Guyan, the goaltender for Slovakia, who plays in the North American Hockey League, not the United States Hockey League, the next level down from the USHL, the North American Hockey League, I'm going to guess he hasn't seen shooters like that in his league.
No chance. And so, once again, the records that Kenzie mentioned, he is now above two of the greatest World Junior players ever. Eric Lindros in points, Jordan Eberle in goals. By the way, Jordan Eberle and the Seattle Kraken just arriving in Edmonton, where they're going to play the Oilers. They were on the team bus when it happened, but the buzz was there, and Eberle, rushing to his hotel room to watch the game, just said, the kid is amazing. I bet he gets 5 more before the tournament is done. It seems like the Slovaks' game plan to control Bedard and really against Canada is to be physical before and perhaps after the whistle.
Yeah, I've not seen very many World Junior games where there's been as many extracurriculars after the whistle that have mostly gone unpenalized. And we've got a German referee, Mark Evert, and a Czech referee, Jakub Schindel, and they're not calling much. Now, Nemitz was the guy who got the extra one on that particular play. But otherwise, there was a lot of face washes, a lot of gloves. There was coincidental minors given there. But I would think the referees allowing a lot of this to happen, you know they're going to change their minds suddenly and someone's going to get victimized by it if you're Team Canada. Team Canada did a good job of keeping their gloves at the side and taking a lot of abuse in front, but the Slovaks would probably be a little bit emboldened by the fact that the game is being called as loosely as it is after the whistle.
Very difficult to not punch a guy back in the face, but that's what the Slovaks are trying to do. What do you want to do? You want to punch a guy, or you want to win a gold medal? You can't do it.
You all said before the game it's going to take much more than Bedard, Stankoven, of course, keep play on the goal, and Brennan Othmann maybe having his best period, even though he scored 2 goals against Sweden.
Yeah, he was all over the ice, and he also started in the neutral zone. You have to know exactly where you are, what's around you, and how to move the puck, and that's what he does so efficiently. He's also great net front, but in the middle of the ice, he knows how to pop the pass. Why? Because he looks exactly where the coverage is and says, hey, I'm just going to put that between my legs so we can get some speed and we can gain entry. Again, on the wall, just being able to recover the puck. Look at this little takeaway to the forehand, having a little bit of a look-see there around the net, still stays below the goal line because guess what? He's going to go net front. He's going to try and lose coverage. He's going to blast his way through to the net, and of course, it's held up right there. So you watch him. You can also watch him be the high player in the slot as well, and he's got good defensive presence, nice layering into his game.
And Thomas Milic, besides that little hesitation on the one play, another solid period for Canada. It's a 1-0 Canadian lead for the final spot in the semifinals here at the World Juniors. When we return here in intermission number 1, we'll take you back to the other 3 games that happened earlier on today. We had one great one between those 2 old rivals, and then a couple that weren't so great. 3 spots, 1 left for Canada or Slovakia.
Get your Hockey Canada gear at shop.hockeycanada.ca. The largest selection of Hockey Canada gear anywhere. Shop now and get today's special offer. Shop.hockeycanada.ca. A Fanatics experience.
Me and my buddies, we would get the Auto Trader and we'd scan through it like it was comic books.
The app is so cool. You got your listings, as you can see, is your nifty little great price badge. Auto Trader has completely replaced my dad. Hey.
Shishito, burrito, raw keto, fried shiso, French fry, iced chai, pad thai, baked pie, half stack, taco pack, lobster mac, baby back, pork chop, soda pop, kebab, sourtop, hot pot, hungry now. Noodle soup, cantaloupe, ice cream scoop, whipped cream, blue dumpling, chicken wing, Peking, and those crispy onion rings.
DoorDash. Get $0 delivery fees on your first order.
Kim, did you ask your doctor about Ozempic?
Ozempic? This Ozempic?
Ozempic? My friend takes it.
Reminder, call Dr. Chow.
Ask your doctor or visit Ozempic.ca.
What's Ozempic?
The record-breaking online World Juniors 50-50 is back this holiday season. Don't miss your chance to win more and give more. December 19th to January 5th. Proceeds will benefit important charitable initiatives in your community and support girls hockey programming. Go to worldjuniors5050.ca or scan the QR code on your screen to get your tickets. You could be our next lucky winner, and you can take home half the total pot in your province. Don't miss out. Pick up your World Juniors 50-50 tickets today.
Introducing the incredible NutriBlade knives from Granite Stone. Coated with Granite Stone non-stick and made of stainless steel for ultimate cutting-edge durability. The Easy Grip rubberized handles deliver incredible control and accuracy. The non-stick surface means food slides right off. Get this complete set of 6 NutriBlades for only $29.95. Order right now, and we'll even ship them to you for free. So get your own NutriBlade knives from Granite Stone.
Hey, I'm Ethan Del Mastro from the Mississauga Steelheads, and this is Defense Pinch and Shoot. Basically, it's a rim coming from the opposite side. Forward's kind of coming up with the rim, and you're kind of meeting him at the same time and kind of lifting his stick and receiving the rim and kind of walking the blue and kind of checking over your shoulder, making sure there's no one on you and you have time and space, and then you're making it past DD, and then you step in the middle and take a shot to the net. Being able to attack the forward down low and not allow him to receive the puck, and then being able to walk the blue line and make plays, and then receiving a pass and getting it through, it's so important nowadays. It doesn't matter how old you are, you still have to work on it. Even at the NHL level, the players are always working at getting shots through and walking the blue line, so it's definitely one of the most important skills to have as a defenseman.
Our attention turns to football. Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, TSN and CTV. It's the Bills and Bengals tonight. Remember, the Bills win their last 2. They'll have the first seed in the bye in the AFC. But if they lose tonight, they'll fall behind both the Chiefs and the Bengals to the 3rd seed. Let's update you on the other 3 quarters today. Finland, Sweden. This was the best game by far. 3rd period tied at 1. Nico Hutanen. Snipes, and Finland has a 1-goal lead. Sweden pressing for the tie with 3.5 left. Philip Biested will be stopped, but there's Leo Carlsson, expected to go top 5 in the draft. He bangs in the rebound. We're tied at 2. Finland gets a power play with 1.5 minutes left, but they mishandle the puck. Victor Stornberg steals, and he goes 5-hole for the shorty winner. Primal screen, Finland done, Sweden on to the semifinals. Czechia and Switzerland. Switzerland scored first in this one. They had hope for about 3 minutes or so. Marcel, skills so nice they named him twice. Terrific move for the Finnish. 2-0 Czechia. 2nd period, David Jiricek, 6th overall pick of Columbus. He's been great in this tournament. Has another goal right there. It's 4-1 Czechia, and the route was on. Now 5-1 off the faceoff win. Gabriel Sturck, 1 times at home. Czechia wins this one 9-1. Continuing to look extremely impressive as they chase their first medal since 2005. USA, Germany, 1st period. Ryan Ufko centers for Logan Cooley. Nice move and finish, and the Americans have the lead. And if you watch Germany against Canada, you probably know the way this one is going. Ufko, sweet feed to Red Savage, who buries. 3-0 USA. And in the second, it continues. They work it around Jason Blake with a nice move in tight. 4-0 USA. 11-1 the final as the Americans cruise. That's why it matters to come first in your group, usually, to get a matchup like that and cruise into the semifinals. So here is the deal. If Canada can win this hockey game, it will be Czechia versus Sweden. Remember, they reseed after the quarters. Czechia is the #1 seed. Sweden would be the 4th seed left in the U.S. and Canada. Canada would be #2. U.S. would be #3. If Slovakia wins the game, it's Czechia against Slovakia, and the U.S. would play Sweden in the other semifinal. Remember, a day
Our hero Paul loves to help others, but today he's helping protect himself against pneumococcal pneumonia, which can put you in the hospital. He got the Prevnar 20 vaccine. Yes, even heroes should think protection. Ask about Prevnar 20 today.
This is how Tosin lost 33 pounds on Noom Weight.
I'm Tosin.
Noom gave her a psychological approach to weight loss.
Noom has taught me how you think about food has such a huge impact on your relationship with it.
Sign up for Noom Weight and lose the weight for good.
Across the nation, the Canadian Hockey League is known for investing in moments like this. But did you know we're also investing in this and this? While you're probably used to seeing us here, we're also here and here. Through the CHL Scholarship Program, clubs award nearly $10 million each year, helping thousands of former players continue their education. So while you're seeing this, we're also doing this. The CHL, developing tomorrow's leaders.
The first intermission was brought to you by Destination Moncton Dieppe.
Detailed numbers from our friends at Sport Logic. Canada with about a 3.5-minute advantage in O-zone time with the puck. Look at those last three columns. Canada was 7 chances off the cycle, 3 off the rush, 2 odd man rushes. Slovakia was 0s in all 3 of those categories. Most importantly, Canada up by a goal. Gordon Mike with the second.
The triple record-setting goal by Connor Bedard, his 7th of this World Junior, gives Canada the 1-0 lead. Slovaks had the first 5 shots of that period, but Canada comes on strong late as it applies the pressure. But it's the way that Canada applied the pressure that's a little different than what we saw against Sweden.
You know, it was, and so much of Canada wants to get in and forecheck and own the offensive zone and be on the cycle and have time of possession, but that's not really where Canada's best chances came from. They came from causing turnovers and attacking really quickly, where they didn't give Slovakia a chance to get numbers back. They didn't get to their defensive system. It was kind of broken plays. Now, to do this, you have to check very well up ice. You have to backtrack, sticks on the ice, take lanes away, and then recognize that once you get it, look to go. Don't just maybe chip it in, don't make the safer play, but try to attack forward chance. Canada was good at that in that first period, generating probably their best looks coming within 2-3 seconds of creating a turnover. They want to continue to do that while also getting the second game going into the second.
But if you're Slovakia, you're trying to shorten this game. 1-0 after 1, they'll take that.
It was a bad turnover against the wrong group that allowed Connor Bedard to get a breakaway. That's the last guy you want to see get a breakaway if you're Slovakia, but you're right, it was physical, a little bit chippy. They killed off both Canada's power plays. They haven't gotten a power play yet either, so you have to figure Slovakia thinks one is coming to them at some point in this game.
And they had their chances in that first period.
And they had some looks, including a breakaway by Rebchik.
This is Slovakia's first time in the quarterfinals in the last 8 World Junior Championship.
Surprising to hear that. Even if they're not going to threaten gold, you think they would be able to get to the corner.
There's been different formats as well. Lead pass right finds Othman. Brendan Othman works in. Nice shot. Knocked away from Libor Nemetz. And now brought in by Meshar across the line. That got close to offside. Meshar. Oh, check there by Othman, who steps hard into him. Zellweger lifts it off the boards and back down to the Slovak line. Simon Nemetz. Back to pick that up. And he ices the puck. Nemetz played 6.5 minutes in that first period.
The early ice allows for Canada to make their change, and with that goal, records everywhere are falling. Most career goals, points in a tournament for Canada all belong now to Connor Bedard, and he's not done yet.
As a 17-year-old, and that should not be underestimated. By the way, Slovakia looking for his first semifinal appearance.
Semifinal. Yeah, I was going to say.
They go to the quarters a lot, but the semis are a bit more difficult proposition for them since that bronze medal in Toronto in 2015. That again was Dennis Godla, who's now playing in the Czech extra league. Wow, centers it! Now Bedard going to stick on that, but knocked it wide. Brought back out by Chernik. Chernik said Ivan played 5 years in the NHL for Ottawa and Washington. And Alex is eligible for the upcoming NHL draft. Long shot. Milic makes the stop on that drive from Simon Gros. Back down the Slovak zone. Icing waved off as Bedard moves in. Got a stick on that. Throw. Long pass to Mishak, and that will be icing against the Slovak.
Connor Bedard, he said he gets a stick on that play behind the net. It's amazing how many pucks he gets a piece of on the forecheck. Not necessarily the most physical forechecker, but he's able to track them down, deflect them, interrupt, and look for his chance. In this one, he's trying to go through his legs in a little tip drill. And defended nicely by Natney.
Face-off won by the Slovaks again. They've had the edge on draws in this game so far. Kabats banks it back down to the Canadian zone. Laid across to Tyson Hines, was goals in back-to-back games for Canada. Gunther, rink-wide pass to Othman, moves in and shoots. Guyan save, rebound. Oh, what a stop by Guyan. He turns away right point blank. Othman back across to Hines. Hines centers it. And that's picked off by Mishak. Sent back down the ice again, and the Slovaks have tired players on the ice now.
Really good breakout, quick transition for Canada. And it went all the way from below their own goal line up to Othman in about 5 seconds. And watch Othman's feet here. He opens himself up to get a little bit wider and a little bit slower to catch it clean on his forehand, allowing him to accelerate into the shot. And Shane Wright gets a piece of the rebound, and a tremendous save by Guyan. A little bit of edge work by Othman to maintain his momentum.
Stankov wins that faceoff. Back to Hines, shoots, he put that wide. Slovaks won 13 of the 20 faceoffs in the first period. Hines moves up, plays it back down to Waugh. Joshua Waugh trying to flip that rink wide, picked up by Bedard. Bedard walks across the top, long shot, drifts wide. Stankov trying to tap that back. Scooped up by Jonka and Korchinski. Crisp rink wide pass for Bedard. Flips it back ahead for Waugh. Waugh plays that back to the side of the goal, picked up by Stankoven. Now Bedard goes after it. Tied up by Kometz, picked up by Stankoven. And now Bedard jam play at the side of the goal. It's picked up by Waugh. Feeds it back, Stankoven shoots. That's blocked. Mishak banks it off the boards and back down to the Slovaks. Can start the change. Del Mastro. Long lead pass to Waugh. With Bedard and Stankoven. Waugh pulls it in and shoots. That was blocked by Groh. Stankoven taken down. And now Groh back the other way. For Nemetz. Simon Nemetz plays that rink wide. A great chance there. Saved by Milic as he turns away Shotek. Moves to the side of the goal again. Milic turns that away. Now Bedard back on it. Moves out along with Gaucher. Nathan Gaucher works in and shoots, and Nemetz got a piece of that. Shotek up ahead for Bacho. And Milic steers that away. Ostapchuk up ahead for Gaucher. He was poked checked to center ice by Meshar. Del Mastro for Ostapchuk, chips that back down to the Slovak zone. Dean, the first man there on the forecheck. Zach Dean drops it back, and a great shot there by Gaucher, and a save made by Guyan.
Milic has been solid when called upon. And tired back checkers for Canada leads this great chance on the Z pass. Oh, and the active stick of Zellweger able to sweep away what would have been a guaranteed goal right there on Chiernik's stick. Ready to tap it home, and just gets to it fraction earlier than Repchik to take it away.
Bankier for the face-off now against Petrovsky. And Petrovsky wins that one.
Straight out.
That puck goes out.
To the mesh, straight to the mesh, says Grant Clark was calling it demonstratively straight, and he wants...
The officials want to talk about this.
Want to conference it. This is all on Brant Clark's verbal prompting. It went into the mesh, not into the crowd, so did it catch the glass before the mesh? And they're saying number 5, I think. David Natney is head of the box.
Number 5 from Slovakia, 2 minutes for delaying the game.
So a puck over the glass penalty on David Natney.
Underneath it, definitely does not touch Schaefer, and that's a byproduct of the forecheck. Reed Schaefer going in there. There's Brant Clark. That's out, that's out. As is Nolan Allen saying the same. But he makes that mistake because he knows he's about to get hit. Rushes it, goes underneath it, and so Canada goes back to the power play
had a couple decent looks, but not quite what we have seen this tournament.
0 for 2 with 3 shots total. The Slovaks have had a couple of short-handed chances as well. So Wright, Othman, Bedard, Gunther, the forwards.
Conversation for Bedard and his defender on the far wall.
A long talk to the match from Sturbach. That's coming to the Canadian bench.
What are you doing at the draft this year? As the two of them had a bit of a exchange at the hash marks. You can't back off. Can't be nice. Not out here to get autographs from Connor Bedard. Out here to make his life miserable.
Face-off win by Repchik. On the line, held by Zellweger. Down to Bedard. Bedard in, shoots, just missed. Battles back at the blue line. Zellweger keeps it alive for Gunther. Sikora trying to knock that free. Wright comes in to help out as well. Both free by Wright. Back to Zellweger. Got it by Repchik. Now played back in the corner. Othman goes after it. And Bedard holds the line, but lost it. Now it's moved ahead by Sikora. And Zellweger races back as Sikora dove at him. Gunther trying to put that ahead. Now Zellweger back at his blue line. Goes rink wide for Othman. In comes Othman. Has a look. Right in the high slot. Played back to Bedard. Across he goes to Gunther. Back to Zellweger. Olin Zellweger slides it back across to Bedard. From the high slot, Gunther. Back for Zellweger. Shoots. That was blocked by Sturbach. Zellweger. Back to Bedard. Beats that down to Othman. Othman works it back to Zellweger. Walks right in, beats it back. Othman shoots, and Guyan makes the save on Brennan Othman.
A really good save by Guyan. Getting across, taking away from Brennan Othman. Working underneath the seam. You want to play high and tight to Bedard. Well, then you go underneath. And he gets it up, just not quite under the bar. You got to make a perfect shot there to get it past Guyan. Earlier, there's that no-looker release as Connor Bedard throws everything he has into the shot. That sails just over the crossbar.
And now this unit will stay out there.
They need to win some faceoffs on the power play. They're making life difficult for themselves by not winning the faceoffs like they're used to.
Petrovsky versus Wright. And Wright wins that one. Bedard taps it back to Zellweger. Zellweger to Bedard. Slides that down. Othman finds it back to score! Dylan Gunther, power play goal, and Canada leads 2-0.
Talk about winning the faceoff. So important because that allows the tired group to not have to chase it. And the stick of the defender in front gets caught up in Shane's right skate. Look at this. It gets caught on his skate. And so Grosz can't get his stick back in the passing lane. And Gunther, while falling, his softest version of a one-timer from the weak side for another power play goal for Dylan Gunther.
He hasn't scored an even straight goal yet this year.
Don't worry about that.
3 power play goals in Arizona. You see Bedard jawing there with Petrovsky. He's got 5 goals in this tournament, all scored the power play.
He's there to shoot it, and he's got a great knack for finding the back of the net.
Pretty good at it.
But if you're going to play up on Bedard, then you attack on the goal line with lots of space and a well-done offensive sequence for Canada.
So a puck over the glass penalty cost the Slovaks as Stankoven moves in. Logan Stankoven drops it off to Korchinski. Korchinski snaps that rink wide. Now knocked down by Fantilli. Rink wide pass to Korchinski. Drops it back to Clark. Frank Clark winds it. A backhand shot. Bounces back in front. Stankoven couldn't quite reach it. Fantilli winds across the top. Drop pass for Clark. Poked away by Simon Nimitz. And Clark had to race back to take that away. Sturbach bumped there by Fantilli. And Simon Nimitz has that pass go off Zach Dean. Now chipped in by Chernik. Hines up ahead for Dean. Zach Dean winds in. Dean. Wraparound try. Guyan down. He turns that away. Behind the goal. Meshar got bumped, kept the line by Hines. Dean centers it, goes in, backhand shot, and Guyan hangs on to that. Dylan Guenther from Edmonton has Canada's second goal. As not, he can only watch.
It calls you to a place with no boundaries, where the trail ends and the beyond begins. The 2023 Chevrolet Silverado ZR2 is ready. Are you?
With Eastside Mario's all you can eat, you manja, manja, manja.
Oh, Pop, they got more salad. Oh, Pop, they got more soup. Oh, Pop, they got more garlic home loaf. Manja, mama, manja. Hey, bada boo, bada bing.
Canada up 2-0 on Dylan Guenther's 5th of the tournament. And being on the weak side is not so stationary as it is about flow. Like you're flowing up and down with the puck. You're feeling where it's going to cut over to you, creating lanes, finding seams. Whether it's at the goal line or the blue line, got their great feel all the way down to the goal line and finish.
And you talked about leaving that group on the ice.
Only works if you win the faceoff. You want the last 30 seconds on the end of it. Doesn't do any good if they lose the faceoff and get it clear. They'll be too tired to execute.
Right wins that one to Frank Clark with a shot. Giant save, loose in front. He hangs on to it. And Clark into it. After the whistle, after Giant made that stop. Still tangling in the corner.
Matney and Clark.
Wright comes in with a word for Petrovsky, who's been in the middle of things.
Matney was just in the box. Puck from the glass. Clark activated. Never a bad idea. Just put it into the feet. You never know where it might end up. Ends up right on in the crease. As Matney does a good job in front, boxing out, but
at the 09 World Junior, Frank Clark and his family from the Ottawa area went to every Canada game, and John Tavares had a hat trick on New Year's Eve against the United States, and after the game, Tavares gave his stick to Clark's brother, and it's still in the Clark family rec room.
Amazing how these things get passed down. I was at the 87 Canada Cup. I have Mario Lemieux's stick from Game 2 from his overtime winner.
Meshar plays it back for Sturbach. Sturbach spins back. And Del Mastro plays it back around. Wright moves that back, and at the line, held by Meshar. He's knocked down by Wright. And picked up by Libor Nemec. Throws it back to pass it behind Petrovsky. He spills Millis, penalty coming to Slovakia. That's with it. And finally touched up. We'll get a goalie interference penalty. Now both officials have their arms in the air.
This entry, I think, was offside, Gord, too. So this whole sequence.
Team Canada, number 11, tripping.
So they had Guenther for the trip.
So here's the entry. You tell me if this is offside on Meshar. Miles offside.
Yeah.
And so the sequence should not have even occurred. But there's, well, that's not a trip. That's a blown wheel on the ice. Watch the skate. Does he? You know, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Not much, but a little bit.
Slovaks have only had 9 power play chances in the tournament. This is their first of the game, but they've scored 4 times. Repchik leads the way with 2 power play goals.
Now, should we be able to? You can't. Should you be able to challenge that and have that not count?
Yeah, I think that's a little much.
Well,
when would it end?
When there's not a penalty or a goal.
Here's Simon Nemec, works it and shoots, scores! Nemec off the faceoff. Power play goal, and Nemec blows a kiss to the crowd. And the Slovaks are on the board, down by 1. Might have been tipped in front.
Slovakia answers Canada's power play goal with 1 of their own. Another 1 face-off. And Nemec out there. Yeah. That catch a piece of something. What is that hit to go to the op? Does it hit the knob of Bankier's stick? No, it actually catches the guy in front. I think that hits Nemec. I think it hits Libor Nemec. Because that darts to the glove side on Milic. No chance whatsoever for him. And Simon Nemec got something to say to the crowd. Quiet on down. We got ourselves a game right here. Face-off one. Or was that Meshar in front of the net? Definitely hit a body at the hash marks to get past Milic.
So back to a one-goal game. And the Slovaks' face-off prowess has been part of the story here tonight. They're now 5 for 10 on the power play of the Slovaks. Nemec was an absolute giant in the game against the United States. He had 3 assists, was +4 in their 6-3 win.
They're giving it to Simon Nemec. And what does this hit in front? It either hits Libor Nemec or Del Mastro.
Nemec.
I think it is Libor Nemec to me. But this is one of the unintended consequences. A lot of people just say for the referees, if it's really close on the lines, don't blow it. Because you can always review it if it ends up in a goal and take it back and get the call right.
Right.
Just let it go if you're in doubt. There's a case where they let it go and a penalty ensued.
Oh, Allen shoots. Big wall in front.
And then a power play goal because of it.
Bedard back after it. Keeps the puck right on the line. Bedard feeds across. Stankoven shoots. Guy in the save. Waugh goes after Dvorsky in the corner. And Dalibor Dvorsky sends that rink wide. Chernik moves in. The play's offside at the Canadian line.
Not be surprised that this is close. Slovakia has been a tough team to play against in this tournament. They've been getting better as it's gone along here. And here's this puck pursuit and stick skills. Little 10 and 2 off Dahlin smiling somewhere. But the stick lift turnover keep by Connor Bedard. We've seen an awful lot of it.
Across to Stankoven. By the way, Stankoven has Slovak heritage. His grandparents on his dad's side are from Slovakia. Stankoven is actually a Slovak name. Fantilli. Up there by Grove. And Zhulka brings it back up for Slovakia. He was knocked off stride by Fantilli. Tyson Hines goes in. He got belted by Repchik. And Clark peels back. Backs it back around to Hines. Hines throws out ahead. It was picked off by Mishak, but now brought back by Gaucher. Nathan Gaucher works in. And Zhulka holds out for Slovakia, flips it by Hines, and back down to the Canadian zone. Icing called against the Slovaks. Women's World's coming to Brampton, Ontario this spring. It's been a festive atmosphere here throughout the pre-tournament, the first round of games, and now into the medal round. 6,000 here for the relegation game this morning between Austria and Latvia. Back goes Del Mastro. The Slovaks didn't like that icing call.
That entire group back out there. It's been 3 games since Canada's felt sort of any stress or strain. The game against Sweden was intense, but they were always kind of ahead by 2 or 3, ending up 4 up. So, you know, there were going to be some tense moments along the way to wherever they end up. They're there now in a battle. They've had some looks on Gajan, who's looked good in this game.
Wright, Gunther, and Othman out there for Canada. Zellweger and Del Mastro on the back end. It's Wright against Frantisek Day for the face-off. Day, the 17-year-old who is draft eligible.
Other guys wearing cages taking face-offs for Slovakia.
And Day wins that one.
Dvorsky as well, doing a nice job.
Bacho has that knocked down by Del Mastro. Racing back in Zellweger. It rolls down to Milic. He hangs out of that as Day was breaking in. So we've talked a lot about Bedard and company in this tournament, but this line of Wright, Othman, and Gunther has done some work as well. From the under-18s, where they were teammates and line mates. Winners in the gold medal game against Russia. Canada's got 12 players in the 2021 under-18 gold medal team. 8 returnees, 3 NHL players, 9 first-round picks. Dean chips set ahead to a Ostapchuk. He got spun around by Simon Nemec. Then Ostapchuk takes him in hard. Libor Nemec moves it ahead. Petrovsky comes in, spins in front of Zellweger, drops that off. And now Stank, Ostapchuk runner, one-on-one with Simon Nemec. So he got the help coming. Zellweger along with Dean. Ostapchuk shoots, scores! Ostapchuk restores the 2-goal lead.
Ostapchuk was moved up this third line because he's been such a solid player defensively. And he uses his time, waits for some support to push Nemec back, and then he's got that long stick, puck way inside, and he puts this one just outside the blocker, inside the post. Those ones score where the body angle is very different than the puck angle because he's shooting it from so far away from his body. Beauty released by Ostapchuk.
Native of St. Albert, Alberta, an Ottawa second-round pick. He was drafted with one of the picks that Ottawa got from San Jose in the Erik Karlsson deal. So they got Josh Norris. They got a first-round pick that turned into Tim Stützle in the second round of Ostapchuk.
The bounty.
Now, Erik Karlsson's playing great for San Jose right now, so
everybody wins.
Ostapchuk, second year as the captain of the Vancouver Giants. Oshawa plays it around.
Right up.
Lead pass for Bedard that skipped away from him. Icing was waved off. Guyan plays it up. Bedard shoots. That tipped. And Guyan makes the save on it. Waugh works it free for Stankoven. Stankoven knocks it down. Great work to free the puck by Stankoven. He was belted down there by Bacho.
Good first by Bacho. Nothing wrong with that hit at all.
Bacho's a big kid. 6'3", 220. Plays for Moose Jaw in the Western League. Plays a lot against Bedard. Moose Jaw and Regina face off a lot. Stankoven picks it free. Throws it back in the slot. That's knocked away by Shotek. But Stankoven stays on it. Just hunts down the puck and throws that rink wide. Hines jumps up. Tyson Hines leaves it for off, but he tried to drop it back. And it bounces by everyone as Wright comes on the ice. Allen goes back. Icing waved off. Nolan Allen gives that around to Shane Wright. Back at bronze to Del Mastro. Del Mastro banks it back out of the Slovak zone. Kometz goes after it. He trailed by Hoffman. Now Del Mastro steps up to keep it alive. Del Mastro got that taken away by Sikora. Now Sikora banks it back down to the Canadian zone. Clark brings it around. Gunther gathers it back up. Dylan Gunther. Another goal for Canada this game as Gunther swings back, looks ahead, right, chips it back out to center ice. Kometz. Up for Dalibor Dvorsky. That was stolen by Del Mastro. Hoffman had to wait to get back on side. Kometz stolen by Gunther. Hoffman feeds ahead to Wright. Wright trying to drop that back. The pass picked up by Kometz. Next plays Prince George in the Western League. Bags back out. And Dvorsky back with it. Orjunka moves in. He's poked check there. Deeply by Clark. Clark puts that high in the air. Simon Nemec back for it. Loose puck, and Gunther couldn't quite reach it. Adam Sikora. Got bumped there by Del Mastro. Back goes Clark to pick it up. Greg Clark, long lead pass. That misses Bankier. And icing call against Canada. 8:34 to go in the second period.
Such a pivotal goal for Canada to restore that 2-goal advantage. Good work along the boards to free it for Ostapchuk. And he recognizes, okay, I gotta slow down a little bit, take a little bit wider, wait for some support so Nemec can't attack me. And then shooter just beats the goaltender, plain and simple.
That goal came 2 minutes and 2 seconds after the Slovaks had cut the lead to 1.
And a 5-on-5 goal from somebody other than Stankoven, Bedard, and Waugh. Something that Canada's been looking for more of.
Thank you for the face-off. It's controlled by Petrovsky. Someone shoots. Whistle that high. Banked up by Reed Schaefer. Gunther looks ahead. Milic plays it back around to Clark. Lifts that high in the air, back down the Slovak line. Simon Nemec being forced there by Bankier. And now Schaefer with the steal, backhands it back down to the Slovak zone. That skipped high off the boards and gloved down by Nemec. Nemitz, 11 points in 24 games for Utica in the American League as an 18-year-old. Thank you. Up for Schaefer. He got erased. Simone Nemitz back court. And Fantilli stepped into him. Now a race for it. Libor Nemitz had it swept away by Korchinski. Zellweger up for Schaefer. Fantilli on the hunt. Goes in on Simone Nemitz. Looked at his stick for a moment. And stays after it. Petrovsky lost the puck to Waugh. Joshua Waugh works that free. Picked up by Fantilli. Shoots from a sharp angle. And that's off the arm of Guyan, up and out of play. 7:27 remaining here in the second period. Zacha Ostapchuk from St. Albert, Alberta, as Canada back up by 2.
With Eastside Mario's all you can eat, you manja, manja, manja.
Oh, Pop, they got more salad. Oh, Pop, they got more soup. Oh, Pop, they got more garlic home loaf. Manja, mama, manja. Hey, bada boo, bada bing.
They got my attention with all their talk about fees. But hey, fees don't tell the whole story. The tools and support that I get with RBC is what really matters to me. I'm in charge of my investing decisions and feeling confident.
Come on over. Bring your appetite. Bring a friend. Bring a few. Our home is your home. Let us give you the tour. Then you can relax. And a little later, we'll even put on a show. New Brunswick, always inviting.
Don't miss the 4-part HBO documentary series about the life, career, and legacy of a basketball legend and cultural icon unlike any other, Shaq. Now streaming only on Crave.
I watched all 4. It's excellent.
I was in an elevator with him once.
Hopefully going down, not up.
He was wearing a gray shiny suit. He looked like an airplane.
He's the big Aristotle.
Unbelievable.
Big man.
What a great athlete.
To be that big and nimble. It's a good documentary. Sports fan, don't have to be a basketball fan to enjoy that one.
Stankoven loses that face-off to Repchi. And now Bacho brings it in. Bacho, along with Mishak. Bacho steps around Korchinski looking for a penalty. None coming. They're trying. It's under Bacho's skate. Finally worked free and picked out by Waugh. Stankoven. Picked up by Zellweger. Consi goes to Bedard. Connor Bedard, poke check there by Nutney. Plays it back to center ice. Repchik comes in. Bacho with him. 2-on-1. Repchik moves in. The passing lane was blocked by Del Mastro. Great defensive play. Now Lucas from the score. Bacho snaps it home. And the Slovaks once again are back within 1. And Connor Bedard slow to get to his feet. In his second year with Moose Jaw, gets the Slovaks back close.
A patient play by Repchik, and Connor Bedard turns the puck over, causes the rush, then sells out on the slide. When you slide face first court, guess what you can't do? Stop. And he goes head first the boards. He loses all sort of body position and control. And Repchik wraps it all the way around. And it's an easy one for Bacho. At this point, you've been better off knocking the net off. Bacho just sweeps it in the empty net, and Slovakia back within 1.
They scored 320 against the United States in that 6-3 win against the Americans. And now Hines back with it. 6.5 to go in the second period. Gunther works in. Dylan Gunther kicks that back for Wright. That bounced away from him. Here's Gunther. Back down to right, chips it back in front. Off with a chance, backhands it. Guyan makes the save as Othman's looking for the rebound. And he runs into a forest of Slovak sticks.
If you don't want him to poke at the goalie, then blow the whistle. If you don't blow the whistle, the guy's going to go looking for the puck. There's a broken play, throw it down to the net, little tip by Wright, and bounced into Guyan.
Slovaks have 2 shots in the last 6 minutes and 20 seconds. They've scored on both of them.
You understand the effort by Bedard. You understand what he's trying to do. But sliding face first has got to be the absolute last course of action. Your last option. And Nacho feeling the love on the bench. We talked about making life miserable for Bedard. I thought he was talking about physically not scoring goals.
Slovaks play with tremendous emotion and pride. 2 of the greatest celebrations we've ever seen in this tournament. Bronze medal wins by Slovakia. Bacho down. Dean pokes out into a step shot. Simon Nemeth had the wall sealed there by Dean. A step check comes in. And a move by Allen. A race for it now. Mishak comes in. Frank Clark range back to take that away from him. Mishak back on it. Taken over by Gaucher. Move back to center ice for Dean to Gaucher. Clark jumping in. Gaucher moves that to the corner. Chernik drops that back to Simon Nemeth. At the line, over the glass. And is that going to be a penalty? Yep. It's going to be Simon Nemeth goes off for delay of game. Second time the Slovaks have been called for that. Canada scored on the power play the first time they did. 5:42 to go in the second period. Canada up 1 going to the power play when we come back to Halifax.
I was tempted by the idea of simple investing, but I really missed RBC's expertise. I guess a one-size-fits-all approach might work for some, not me. Now I'm back to the personalized advice I need.
Bedard to bring him up for Regina. 1-on-2, step by the defenseman, and then at the deke, and he scores! Does it get any better than that? Oh my.
Canada had their lead cut down to just 1, trying to get it back to 2 on the power play as Simon Nemeth. Second time we've seen this, under duress, trying to flip one off the glass. It was Notny earlier. This time it's Nemeth. And a rested power play group goes to work for Canada.
Again, they face off one by Repchik, and it's moved down the ice. Gunther has a power play goal in the game. Up ahead for Bedard. He finds Wright. Back for Bedard. In. Bedard shoots just missed wide. Gunther back with it. Down to Othman. He finds Wright. Back to Bedard, who once again holds the line. Bedard winds in on Bocha. Centers it. Bounces back across to Gunther. Dylan Gunther. Back for Zellweger. To Gunther. Walks right in. Gunther waits. Sends it back in front. Just missed Wright. Bedard's got it back. Back for Zellweger. Flips across to Gunther. Back to Zellweger. He finds Bedard open. And Bedard spins that back to Zellweger. To Bedard. For the goal mouth. Off it. Back to Wright. Shoots. And that's off the stick of Sturback and high. Notny sends it back down the ice over the glove of Zellweger. Slovaks changing. Long lead pass by Milic to Gunther. In with Othman. Othman trying to fling that across the right, who was busting it alone, but the pass misfired. Zellweger plays that back. It's picked up by Repchik. Milic steers it back across to Zellweger. And here is Dylan Gunther with it. Almost turned over to Libor Nemeth, and Zellweger back with it. Zellweger around there by Repchik, picks it up. Repchik being watched there by Gunther. Puck loose at the side of the goal. Milic swatting at it, gets his glove on it, and play is called with 25 seconds to go in the Canadian power play.
And a little long was the first unit. Couple good chances here, a little give and go ladder play. And a little tap by Bacho, throws Bedard off, shoots it just wide. And then you can almost sense that this play to the middle is open. Another one, Shane Wright just sails. And he caught a piece of Sturback's stick as well. That's the play. If they take Bedard away, that's the play that's going to be open. Backdoor to Gunther, slot to right.
Tilly slides that back. Petrovsky, the first man there for Slovakia. Tied up by Clark. Petrovsky's coming up the works behind the Canadian goal. As Tilly goes after it, Sikora plays it back around to Petrovsky. Final seconds in his power play. Clark's got it. Frank Clark works ahead. Winds it across the line. Trying to drop that back. Pacho not pinned out. Clark's helmet comes off, and now Nemes steps out of the penalty box. Clark staying in the fight at the penalty to Canada. Nemes in, shoots. Nemes makes the stop.
He doesn't know the rule. He's got to get off the ice.
Clark's playing in the NHL this year. That is a rule of the National Hockey League. But he gets one for playing without a helmet. And so Slovakia gets the power play. 3:29 to go. No shots for Canada on that last power play.
Bad power play sequence.
From Canada, 2 minutes for illegal equipment.
His helmet comes off. Thank goodness the head doesn't knock on the ice, but you got to know that and get off the ice. Even chasing him back, he's chasing a player without a stick and without a helmet. You're not going to be able to do much out there anyways. And there's also a poor recognition by this group. They got 4 forwards and a defenseman with 30 seconds left. They kick it around their own end for 25. On the rush, no forward changes. Clark is the only defenseman out there. When he gets caught in deep, there's no one back but 4 forwards. So now Clark goes to the box for playing without a helmet. Slovakia goes to the power play.
They scored 3 seconds into the last one. It was Nemes from the point.
Off a 1 face-off.
Yeah. Petrovsky will take the draw against Gaucher. Scramble draw controlled by Canada. Del Mastro holds and fires it down the ice. And Gaucher hard after it. Guyan out to play it. And Gaucher, that's a face off and get off for him. Stankoven comes, or Banky rather, comes back on. Meshar drops it off Petrovsky for Simon Nemes. Meshar couldn't reach it. And now Meshar poke check to center ice by Ostapchuk. And Hines plays it back to center ice. Philip Meshar, first round pick of Montreal, pick they got from Calgary in the Tyler Toffoli deal. Simon Nemes drops it back for Meshar. Winds in, plays it across, picked up by Hines for Ostapchuk, short-handed. Nemes the only man back. Ostapchuk pulls in, and Guyan knocked that away. Ostapchuk right back on it, plays it in deep. He'll let off on a change as Canada gets fresh legs out on the penalty kill. 2.5 to go here in the second period. A minute to go in the Slovak power play. Simon Nemes moves in and drops it back. Petrovsky up for Libor Nemes. Nolan Allen gets there, tried to ring it around, couldn't get it all the way. Gaucher freezing the puck in behind the goal. Tough to move that thing. Jack Mathieu comes across for it. Meshar in the corner with it as the Slovaks get set up. Back for Simon Nemes. 25 seconds to go on the power play. Meshar to the goal mouth he goes. Centering pass just missed. Here's Simon Nemes with it. Shoots. Kicked out by Milic. Rebound set down the ice by Allen. Guyan. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Leaves it back there for Sturbach. Plays for Sioux Falls in the United States Hockey League. Going to Michigan State next year. As the power play is over, Sturbach goes rink wide. Hines takes that away from Dvorsky. Now Hines pokes at it. Chernik at center ice. Sikora drops it back for Notney. Sturbach. Lead pass, and that shot by Chernik goes wide. Rebound to Sikora. Adam Sikora. Tied up by Del Mastro. Chipped ahead by Wright. Hoffman. Across to Gunther. Canada brings in 3-on-2. Gunther moves in. Dylan Gunther with a chance. And a stop made by Guyan. Back up the Slovaks the other way. Back then for Dvorsky, but Hines knocked that down. Hoffman. Up ahead to Gunther. In comes Gunther. Shoots, and Guyan makes a stop on that. Big hit by Hoffman on Sturbach. And Notney being forced by Wright. Plays it high in the air to center ice for Dvorsky. Dalibor Dvorsky winds in with the Slovaks changing. In comes Dvorsky. Holds up and shoots at the flex wide. Picked up by Del Mastro. Lead pass to Waugh. Joshua Waugh swings that back down. Bedard and Stankoven after it. Give it away to in front. That was blocked. As Simon Gros got in the way. Final seconds now of the period. And a big hit there by Clark as he sends Mishak flying. Clark argued that Mishak put his hand over the puck. And time winds down here at the end of the second period. Rather, Canada with a 3-2 lead after 2.
Back and forth they go. Canada looking for one late. Dylan Gunther, 5-on-5. Nice job on the rush. Tuck it under. Attack the triangle. Take it all the way to the net. Job well done. This is the Fedorov. Tuck it under. Try to attack where Sturback is weak. He does a good job of it. And after that, he's known for this, the shot. Trying Guyan, who's turns aside another one to keep it just a 1-goal lead for Canada.
3-2 the score after 2. You're watching.
So what do you think about using the money we saved by switching our insurance to Bel Air Direct to finally splurge on some privacy blinds? Yeah.
Switch your insurance to Bel Air Direct and save. It's that simple.
What's up, Peloton? It's your girl, Ali Love. Welcome. We're going to have a good time today.
Why do dry January when you can do sweaty January? Save up to $650 on Peloton Bike, Bike Plus, or Tread packages. Get everything you need to start your fitness journey at onepeloton.ca. Terms apply.
What will you do when the power goes out? Power outages can be unpredictable, inconvenient, and disruptive to your life. But with a Generac home standby generator, your life goes on uninterrupted because you'll have power when you need it the most. Call to schedule a free in-home assessment and receive a free 7-year extended warranty with your purchase, an $895 value. Call or go online today. Power your life with Generac.
Hockey fans, get your Hockey Canada gear at shop.hockeycanada.ca, the official online store of Hockey Canada and the largest selection of Hockey Canada gear anywhere. Get jerseys, men's and women's tees, hoodies, headwear, and more. Don't miss out. Shop now and get today's special offer. Shop.hockeycanada.ca, a Fanatics experience.
And the story unfolded. Were you courtside for the drama, the tension, the elation? When the stage lit up for the world to see. Were you there? The Australian Open. The story starts here.
Nervous times in Halifax with a narrow 3-2 Canada lead in the final quarterfinal here at the World Juniors. Let's hear from the captain, Shane Wright, with Kenzie Lalonde.
Shane, just a 1-goal difference right now. What's your evaluation of the first 40 minutes?
I think we're doing all right. I think 5-on-5, we have control of a lot of play. I think got to keep the game a little more simple right now. I think sometimes trying to be a little too fancy, trying to be a little too cute here. Keep it more simple here. I think that's kind of our game, and I think that's our game plan going in the third here.
Physicality is picking up. What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the way we want to play. We've big heavy team. We want to make sure that our finisher hits in the forecheck, making sure that their D, if they're going back for pucks, they're going to take a hit, and I think it's just kind of the way we want to play. And I think we can do a little more of that in the third period here, but I think we've done a pretty good job of that so far.
As captain of the team, Shane, what would be the message heading into the third period?
Yeah, keep our heads cool. Just play our game. I think that's the biggest message. We know that if we play our game, if we're on our game, doing what we do best. We know we're one of the best teams in the tournament. So I feel like if we play our game, we're gonna have success here in the third.
Thanks, Shane.
Yeah, thank you.
James Duthie back with Cheryl Pounder, Jeff O'Neill, and Bob McKenzie. So many times there you felt like, okay, this is where Canada takes over. They score, but then they give up one. They score again. They give up one. They get a power play. they give up one. And we've seen this countless times in World Junior tournaments where as the game gets further along, the underdog gets more confident and the favorite looks a little bit shakier. I think that's the situation here. You felt like Canada needed this break?
Absolutely, and it's not typical for us to say that, where you're hoping that they get to the intermission, because they certainly needed it. You know, they just need to reset, calm down. I mean, they're out shooting them 34-15 right now, so they just got to reset. Shane Wright said it, just calm down, cool down, take this break to reset, come out, dictate pace, and get back to your game plan.
We've praised Connor Bedard endlessly, and he's deserved it all in this tournament, but it has to take the heat as well, and a couple of mistakes on that goal.
Yeah, we talked about turnovers, James. In the first period, the Slovaks had their turn, and in the second period, it was Connor Bedard. We talked about his brilliance all tournament. Loses the puck and then can't get back. Has it just inside the blue line. Everybody says, except for Connor Bedard, you got to make a play there. He doesn't do it. Then you're going to see the two Canada defenders sliding along the ice, and the Slovaks put it away. They look sloppy, and it's a lot of tension after that. But watch the defenders. Everybody goes down. Usually you see one defenseman slide down in front of the net, but when you got two lying on their bellies in front of your goaltender, James, you got a big problem, and the Slovaks made them play on that particular play.
Well, I understand why Del Mastro did it, right? I was a former defender. You slide to take away time and space, and you're allowing the back checker to get back into the play, and when Bedard goes down, he doesn't get back, he slides by it, and that's the problem.
And does the stress and the pressure of a big game lead to mistakes like this? The dive by Bedard and perhaps Clark forgetting about the helmet.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is one of those things, perhaps, you know, you should know the rule, but if he doesn't, you know, this is something that where you got to focus in, know exactly what you've got to do, and that helmet comes off, you got to get off the ice. You know, it's a clean hit right here. He goes down, doesn't hit his head. Got to get up, got to get to the bench, but nonetheless, that winds up being a call, and again, just takes that hit. You got to charge right to the bench. You know the rule. You got to get off instead. Now you're on a PK.
By the rule, you have to go to the bench because you don't have your helmet on. But by joining the play, I'm not sure what you think you can possibly do.
Yeah.
You got no helmet, you got no stick. I don't know how you can.
And that's why we love the World Junior Championship, because it's a bunch of teenage kids playing an emotional game.
No, that's it. You get caught up in it, right?
You just, the instincts take over. I have to chase this guy.
Back. He's heading south towards my zone.
Dylan Guenther has feasted on the power play in this tournament, his 5th goal. And Bob, you had some coaching coming from up here at our perch?
Well, this job, part of the job is to analyze what's happening on the ice. Part of the job is to analyze what O-Dog's doing next to you. And when Canada had that power play, and the #1 power play unit had been out there a long time, unsuccessfully lost a couple of draws. With 48 seconds left, there's a face-off, and Jeff O'Neill is jumping up, yelling, "You got to leave him out there! You got to leave him out there! Don't change him up!" And Dennis Williams must have been listening to you, because he left them out there. Even though Wright had lost a couple of previous face-offs, they didn't put Stankoven out. They stayed with them, they showed confidence, and they got the goal.
That is the difference between playing winning hockey and making everybody happy. When you've got Bedard and his power play line mates, you leave him out there and they go to the down-low play, and Guenther gets the goal. The coach could have easily said, like some do, we got to split the power play time. Everybody's got to be happy. You get your minute and then you're off. Not in that particular situation. It's a tight hockey game, and when you've got Bedard an opportunity to stay out there, you absolutely leave him out there.
Zach Ostapchuk has been so good in this tournament, then takes the 5-minute major in the last game. And you know, in a situation like that, even though they win the game, that there's going to be some guilt. I think you almost felt it when he scored that goal. There was a little primal yell of, I needed to get even for that.
I need to get even, and he did. And you know, you need depth in your lineup in order to be able to win these kind of close hockey games, and that third line has to be effective, and they were effective by getting on the board. And it all starts in a defensive zone face-off win by Gaucher. We talked about it coming into this game, that righty being so effective, just putting it in. Look at the race for the puck by Ostapchuk, and then physical on the body, and then he tracks back, and this is when he tracks back. You come back into the play, and you're getting back as hard as you can, and then all of a sudden you recognize, hey, it's going to go the other way. And when it does go the other way, you attack, you jump, and that's exactly what he did. Big frame, north-south player. He has a look. He says, hey, how many do I have coming with me? Wow, this is going to be a 3-on-1. He actually slows up and waits for them. Just beats Nemec with his left leg. You can see just has a slight advantage there, and he buries it. Beautiful play. Good recognition.
Did not have on my World Junior bingo card before the tournament that Green Bay Gamblers goalie would be in the way of Canada advancing to the semifinals here.
Well, it's actually only 2 games with the Green Bay Gamblers, because he's playing with the Chippewa Steel in the North American Hockey League. This Adam Guyan in net for Slovakia is quite a story. Shots on goal, 17-5 for Canada in that period, 34-15 over the course of the game. When the Slovaks named their first 3 goalies in preliminary in December, he wasn't amongst any of them. He got the call 24 hours before the tournament, said come in and be the number 3 guy. Came in as the number 3 guy, didn't dress for their first game, and has been the number 1 goalie since then, and he's been absolutely remarkable. This guy's come basically out of nowhere. He's got a Division I verbal commitment with University of Minnesota Duluth, and he's standing on his head in this game, and he's a big reason why the Slovaks are right where they want to be going into a third period against Team Canada, trailing only 1.
Jimmy, 20 minutes ago, it's kind of greasy out there. There's like a tension, but that's where you kind of see what these kids are made of. Scouts watching or teams watching their players. There's some tension out there. Go out there and make good plays, and you'll win a hockey game.
It's the kind of test and pressure that can help you in a semifinal or gold medal game, but you have to get to the semifinal.
That's right.
Or
you can't win every game 7-1. Go out there and do it.
Again, the circumstances for Canada here. If they win the game, they will play the Americans in the semifinal. If Slovakia wins, it's a Czechia-Slovakia semifinal, and the Americans would play the Swedes. 20 minutes to go. Canada by a single goal here in jam-packed Halifax on quarterfinal night of the World Juniors.
For Canadians, waiting for a guide dog literally brings life to a standstill.
The demand for guide dogs raised and trained in Canada is at crisis levels.
Thousands of Canadians are waiting.
Please join me in becoming a CNIB Guide Dogs monthly supporter.
CNIB Guide Dogs, which relies on the support of the public, has launched a nationwide campaign to urgently expand their guide dog program.
Join me in becoming a CNIB Guide Dogs monthly supporter.
It takes 2 years to train these puppies with purpose and just 1 minute to sponsor them. For just 66 cents a day, you'll help ensure that every Canadian who relies on a guide dog to live independently can have one at no cost thanks to you. You'll receive regular updates on the puppies, and best of all, you'll know in your heart that you are providing a lifeline to someone in need. Call or click
at 1-855-CNIB-DOG or sponsorpuppies.ca today.
It's about more than the goals they score. It's about life skills they learn. It's about friends they make. It's about their love for hockey. None of it would be possible without the assist you can provide. The Hockey Canada Foundation Assist Fund is breaking down barriers to get Canadian youth on the ice and in the game. Every child deserves the chance to play. Donate now at hockeycanadafoundation.ca.
The world is waiting.
Would you be interested in having an affair?
I understand it's impossible not to think the worst, but I want you to know that we will get your baby back.
Come on, let's go, 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 go.
Alert, new series. Starts Sunday at 8/9 Mountain on CTV. Stream on all your favorite devices.
Hi, this is Joshua from the Sherbrooke Phoenix. This is spin off bad pass. There was a bad pass, then I received the puck and I just turned around protecting my puck. For sure in a game you won't receive every time a good pass, so sometimes you gotta deal with the fact that the pass is not good, so you gotta find a way to get the puck and create something after. Every skill are important to practice. After the practice, if you have free time, just a couple reps and it's gonna get better in the game.
Thank you, Josh. Day off tomorrow at the World Juniors. 3 regional games, Flames and Jets, 6:30 Winnipeg time. That one starts. Jackets and Sens, 7 o'clock Ottawa time. And Canadians and Predators, 8 o'clock Montreal time. The NHL on TSN tomorrow.
Their promises of retiring wealthier. But when I saw my returns, well, I guess that's why I never heard them talk about performance. With RBC, I'm back to feeling confident.
Mia's about to learn that boredom stimulates hunger in the brain.
Yeah, that tracks.
And that's just a bit of psychology Mia learned from Noom Weight. Sign up now at Noom.com.
The record-breaking online World Juniors 50-50 is back this holiday season. Don't miss your chance to win more and give more. December 19th to January 5th. Proceeds will benefit important charitable initiatives in your community and support girls hockey programming. Go to worldjuniors5050.ca or scan the QR code on your screen to get your tickets. You could be our next lucky winner, and you can take home half the total pot in your province. Don't miss out. Pick up your World Juniors 50-50 tickets today.
You ain't living your best life?
My best life is when I have dragons to slay.
We're going to see heavy rains and wide path of destruction.
It's raining frogs!
I'm sorry, did you say frogs?
That was even weirder than the volcano.
Nothing is as weird as lava at mini golf.
Just wait around a minute. Something awful's bound to happen.
Get into a new season of 911 Lone Star, Tuesday, January 17th, only on CTV.
Sport Logic giving us some detailed statistics. Canada with a big advantage in ozone time and pretty much everywhere else. Look at the chances off cycle. 12-0. There is no Slovak cycle. But none of that matters. They're just a goal behind Canada heading to the third. Gordon Miller and Mike Johnson will call it for you.
Both teams scored twice in that second period. Canada takes 2-goal leads twice, but the Slovaks come back each time. And it's 3-2 Canada after 40 minutes of play. Of note, the Slovaks have won 60% of the faceoffs so far in this game. Canada's top two centers, Shane Wright and Logan Stankoven, both under 50% in a game where the Slovaks haven't backed down a bit.
They talked about it beforehand. It was part of their game plan. They did not run from it. They did not hide from it. They wanted to be physical. They wanted to be chippy. They wanted to try to slow down the Canadian forwards as best they can. And they've been largely successful. They came out with a purpose, and that purpose was trying to get this game into the gutter because that's where they have a better chance of being successful. And they've toed the line relatively well without taking too many penalties. When they can get a hit, clean or otherwise, they make it, and they finish everything they can. And if they do things so, they can limit the amount of good looks that Canada can get. And Bacho has been involved in so many of these scrums. Not only does all that physical play, but ends up with the most recent Slovakian goal. So that will continue to be a point of emphasis for Slovakia as they try to come back and tie the game in the third period.
If Canada wins, they will play the United States in the semifinal. And Czechia would play Sweden. If Slovakia were to win, it would be Slovaks and the Czechs and USA Sweden. Teams start the third period 5-on-5. A one-goal Canadian lead. Simon Nemec has been a major part of the story here tonight. Sends it down to the Canadian zone right away. It's icing called against the Slovaks.
Moments like this will test the poise and discipline of both teams. And the maturity of handling a situation that'll be tight, knowing what's at stake in the third period. Keep their heads about them and make plays.
Face off, one again by Petrovsky, but often picks up the loose puck. Feeds that down to Gunther. Bank back ahead. Knocked away from Meshach. This is Pavel Funtek with it. Kept alive by Zellweger. 4 right, looked down for Othman. That was batted away. And now Meshach goes in on Zellweger, but Zellweger ranges back and picks up the rolling puck. Third game of the day again on this ice surface. Been warm outside.
You have to take that into consideration, knowing that there will be plays where it's harder to handle the puck cleanly than it otherwise might be.
Zellweger. Off for Bedard, then bounced away. Sikora picks it up. Del Mastro stepped into him. Zellweger back with it. Back around to Bedard. The pass out of his reach. Chernik feeds it back to Nutt. He throws that wide of the goal. Sikora with a chance at the side of the goal. Centers it, but play was called.
Puck get out over the blue line on that attempted keep by Slovakia. So the offside call. And Connor Bedard, with every point, with every play, he seems to pass another total. So now he's got the Canada record for most assists in a single tournament, passing Jason Allison, as he picked up an assist on Dylan Gunther's power play goal in the second as well. And another night, 3 goals for Canada. He's in on 2 of them.
Stankoven wins that face-off back. Clark back to pick it up. That's knocked down by Repchik, but picked up now by Stankoven. For Bedard to Waugh. Joshua Waugh bumped by Notney, plays it back down to the Slovak zone. Sturbach lost the puck to Waugh, to Stankoven. Logan Stankoven spins back. Works it behind the goal. Stankoven drops that back. And on a shot. Goes off a skate, up and out of play. That rocketed over the glass.
Our last game for Canada, they played against Sweden. They were ahead going into the third period, and they played the third period mostly in the offensive zone, and they're going to look to do the same tonight. High percentage plays, strong on the puck, don't have to force anything, no whole plays in front. Just kind of wear her down, Slovakia, make them play in their own end as much as possible.
Right for the face-off against Dvorsky. Or Day, rather. And Wright wins that back. Long shot by Hines, punched away by Gajan. And again, the Slovak goaltender, Adam Gajan, didn't dress in their first game, was the last guy they brought in. Was expected to be the third goaltender of the tournament. And now he's their starter in the quarterfinals after beating the United States and playing very well in the opening round. Korchinski fires that back down to the Slovak zone. I think it is right, drops that back. Hoffman couldn't hold the line, and Hines has it back. Dyson Hines feeds that across. Korchinski for right. Chips that back down to the Slovak zone. Hoffman on the forecheck. It's moved up to Shotek. He banks it back down to the Canadian zone. Del Mastro back to pick it up. Ostapchuk along with Gaucher. And Gaucher, who scored a key goal in that second period, sweeps it down the Slovak zone. Dean into the forecheck. Ostapchuk falls. Dean works it loose, and the puck just out of his reach. Zellweger back with it. Swings that across. Del Mastro holds, walks it around Nemitz, and shoots off the goal post. Rebound, loose in front. Crochet on it. Dean whacks at it. That rattled off the pipe, and now Dean thought it was in. And Canada comes that close to restoring its 2-goal lead.
The big man, Ethan Del Mastro, walking the line, finds some time and space, freezes his forward, and wrists one into the catches. Straight post, bounces right back in front. Gaucher, Dean both swinging at it. Another one where Nemitz is very close to the crease there. What is 20? At the end of this play, drives on this loose puck. And is it anywhere near the crease? It's more pushing and shoving. Another good shift in the offensive zone on the puck pursuit and secondary recoveries.
And now up comes Stankoven, Waugh, and Bedard. It'll be Repchik for the face-off against Stankoven. One by Repchik. Bedard racing to it. Gets a stick on that. Bedard kicks that back to Waugh. Waugh shoots from a sharp angle. Guyan got his glove on that to knock that to the corner. Hines steps up. Repchik trying to knock that by him. Allen swings back. Bacho moves it on him. Bacho bumped there by Allen. Albert Bacho. Big pileup along the boards. Allen moves that to the line, and now it's poked out by Hines. Kept back in by Repchik. Stankoven takes a hard bump there from Repchik. And now moved by Mishak and back down the ice. Sturbach plays it back around. Chernik with it as Canada's changing. Stankoven stepped into him. Clark up ahead for Bedard. Chips that back down to the Slovak zone. He needs off. And Simon Nemitz has time to play it ahead. Kuntek out to center ice. Del Mastro bats at that. Fantilli reaching for it. Knocked back down the Canadian zone. Milic leaves that for Del Mastro. Simon Nemitz can't hold the line. He's got Canada's Reed Boucher moving on him. Schaefer with it now. Lost the handle for a moment. That pass missed from Sikora. Sikora up there by Schaefer. Nemitz got bumped at the blue line. Here's Sikora, tied up by Bankier. Del Mastro pokes it back around. Schaefer was waiting for it. Bouncing puck in front, and Reed Schaefer's got it back. Schaefer winds it across the line and shoots. Goes off the foot of Nemitz over the glass and out of play.
Another sequence where I watched the zone entry by Slovakia, wondering if it was offside. It's already happened once to the detriment of Canada. And you, Gord?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, nothing to make of it, though. Happens all the time. But I do think the officials are a little more generous to let that tight one go.
Petrovsky wins the face-off. Hoffman gets a chance, though, and rattles that wide. Zellweger back in for Wright. Wright sends it off with a chance. Taps that wide as well. Wright back in and shut into the boards as Groh slammed him in. Hines now turns it over. Meshar in across the line. That was offside, and it's called at the Canadian line.
Fortunate to call. That was a clean 4-on-3 for Slovakia after play behind the net. And Gross takes right, shoves him off bounce. That's not going to be a penalty. It's a battle. Good non-call. Shane Wright does not like it. And Wright, for the most part, has not been one to try to draw a penalty on a questionable call.
Gaucher in for the face-off. Wins it back with Stapchuk, tied up by Mishak, and now banked out.
He's in.
By Gaucher, lead pass, Dean moves in, Zach Dean! Backhand shot the goal post! He had Guy at his mercy, hit the pipe. Dean back on it. Plays it back around to Stapchuk. Poked that by Gaucher. Here's Dean back with it. Throws it back in front of Stapchuk, just missed that. And Mishak flips it back down to the Canadian zone. Pass goes right back to Allen. Lead for Stapchuk. Icing waved off as Funtek goes back. 5 gone here in the third period. Canada with a 1-goal lead. Well, Funtek. Ready for a line change to finish. Up for Dalibor Dvorsky. Swept down by Shotek. Milic swatted that away. Hines up along the boards. Kept back in by Shotek. Clark shields off his man. Now Hines lost it. Back at the point is Funtek. Feeds across. Simon Nemec shoots. That deflects wide. Stankoven waiting for it. And Logan Stankoven pokes that ahead to Bedard. Out with Waugh. In comes Connor Bedard. Gets a step from Funtek and fired that wide. Now Zellweger has to retreat as Sikora bears it on him. Along with Shotek. Shotek in, shoots, Village save, and quickly corrals the rebound.
A chance for Zach Dean to extend the lead to 2. Bank pass is going to go for an icing, but he beats it out. He's going so fast. By the time he pulls it to the side of Guyan's feet, there's not a lot of angle. They're right out the back door. Don't know if he could have created enough angle. He's probably hoping for almost a touch off the back right skate. Look how close this skate is to knock it in at his own net. And Dean can't believe it. Tough to be going full speed, then try to corral yourself and make a move.
Wright wins the face-off from Petrovsky. Loose puck goes to Wright. Back ahead for Gunther. Leads for Offman. Offman to Wright. Shane Wright back to Offman. Shoots. Guyan knocks that away. Now race for the puck in the corner. Moved up by Petrovsky. Zellweger retreats. Yet Meshar bearing it on him now. Knocked free by Libor Nemec. Nemec plays it back in the corner. Here's Wright with it. Plays it back around for Gunther. Helped by Groh at the line. And Zellweger swings back to pick it up. Hoffman chips that to the line, but not out. Brought in by Meshar. Philip Meshar shoots. That was blocked in front by Del Mastro. Picked up by Hoffman. Canada breaks out 4 wide, but needs a change. Hoffman break wide to Gunther. Dylan Gunther throws it back for Hoffman. That just missed. Off the bench comes Bankier as Gunther and Hoffman head back to the Canadian bench. Lead pass finds Mishak.
Cold shoulder
on Beck. Owen Beck with another shift for Canada. Pacho shoots. That was blocked. Owen Beck's second shift of the game. Sharp angle shot. Taken there by Sherback. That was blocked. Mantelli trying to poke it free. Allen leaning on Pacho. Seems quite happy to keep the puck right there.
Don't want to get caught on the wrong side of the puck.
Throws that through the middle of the ice. He finds Bankier. Walking in, shoots at the goal post. Bring it right off the pipe. Bankier back with it with Beck. Bankier throws it back in. Fantilli afterwards. Adam Fantilli. Crisscrossing with Beck. Off the the bench comes Gaucher. The pass just out of his reach. Mishak knocked down by Gaucher. Next coming back on inside. He tags back up. And Canada will change. Now urging this Canadian team on. Sturback lost that race to Dean. Drops it back. Finds a shot that goes wide. Chernak out to center ice. Korchinski lost that race to Sikora. In comes Sikora for Dvorsky. The pass too high for him. Now Sikora throws it back in front. And a chance in front of him. Chernak for Sikora. Shoots. Second chance. Village down. Another chance. Knocked away and sent down the ice by Gaucher. A furious scramble in the Canadian goal. No icing there as the puck went down to the Slovak goal. How'd that stay out? Zellweger steps up. Waugh back on it. Picked up by Chernak. End of a long shift for him. Zellweger squeezes him off the puck. Del Mastro falls. Here's Zellweger with him. Slovakia comes with an eyelash of tying the game. Del Mastro up for Bedard. And Bedard swings back. Connor Bedard winds through, and 5 Slovaks close in on him. Feeds it back down to the Slovak zone. Stankovic gets a stick on that, and back at center ice, here's Del Mastro. Clark. Up ahead to Waugh. Bedard puts it back down to the Slovak zone. And Guyan out to play it. Finds Grove. Turned over to Bedard. Connor Bedard on the line, feeds out ahead, but brought back by Repchik. Repchik in on Allen. And Clark rides Repchik off the puck. Picked up by Clark. High in the air and back down to the Slovak blue line. Sturback back to pick it up as Canada changes. Lead pass from Mishak. Clark lost his stick. Now a chance for Repchik. Feeds it back in front, but ranging back is Hoffman to take it away. Hoffman bats out ahead. Sturback looks ahead for Bacho, and Repchik sends it in. Back goes Tyson Hines, who is involved in that scramble in the Canadian crease.
Rugby scrum on the goal line for Canada.
In comes Wright. Flips that down to the Slovak zone. Wright goes back after it. Funtek knocks it down. Gunther. That knocked away. Simon Nemeth was poke checked there by Hoffman. Funtek. Bumped by Gunther. Running now by Dvorsky. Dalibor Dvorsky drops it off for Shotek. Back for Dvorsky. Feeds it up to Simon Nemeth. Walks in and shoots. That's deflected off the leg in front. Sikora plays it back down. Held by Simon Nemeth. Feeds back across. Funtek a shot. Village save. Loose puck in front. They battle away for it. Poked away now by Hines. Zellweger with time flips out ahead from Stavchuk. And Funtek sweeps that away from him. Dvorsky tried to chip it ahead. In comes Shotek with his line mates changing. Shoots. That deflects wide. Inside 9 to go here in the third period. Zellweger looks ahead for Gaucher. And icing called against Canada.
Chances at both ends. We saw Dean miss a breakaway. Bankir clean on a 2-on-1. He beats Guyan, but not the post. And then how this did not go in. Sikora on the back door. There's the one scorpion kick. And then a glove save by Hines in behind him.
Oh my goodness.
How does Hines his size even get back there? Doesn't close the glove on it. Keeps it out ahead of the goal line. And keeps Canada in the lead.
Face-off won by the Slovaks. Grove plays it back in for Meshar, being tied up there by Zellweger. Tired Canadians on the ice. Meshar throws it back in front. They score! Igor Nemeth, the tying goal. 8:35 to go in the third. Another face-off won by the Slovaks.
Face-off won, and Canada overcommits in behind the net. Meshar gives Zellweger the slip, and then all of a sudden Clark runs behind him as well. No need for both defensemen to chase one man behind the net, leaving Libor Nemeth all alone in front. Clark's got to just hold his ice there. Let Zellweger recover. Not only does he chase Meshar, he knocks Milic's stick out of his hand with his feet as he gets tangled up with his own goaltender, throws him off, and Beautiful feed by Meshard. Nemec, no mistake, and Slovakia ties it up.
Nemec scored in the game against the United States. He's heading to Lake Superior State next year in the NCAA. Playing in the Finnish Junior League this year, and suddenly it's white knuckle time in Halifax.
You think about the chances missed. The breakaways, the 2-on-1s, they were not able to get that insurance goal. And an icing call, a lost face-off, all these little things add up.
Tired guys.
Tired guys. When you're tired, not only do your legs give out, sometimes your decision-making is not quite as sharp. So Canada's got to try to get back on their front foot.
Stankoven wins it back to Clark. And Clark fires that down to the Slovak zone. Simon Nemec chops at that. Del Mastro fires it in. Slovaks' last game went to overtime. They lost a shootout to Switzerland. Back is Del Mastro to pick it up. Del Mastro. Up ahead for Watt. Chips that back to Bedard. In comes Connor Bedard. Shoots. And makes the save. He was looking the other way for the rebound. Sikora. Pumps that by Allen. Now Sikora in the race. In comes Adam Sikora. He peels back. Bumps it back. Mishak in. Shoots. And a glove save made by Milic. What a chance for Martin Mishak. 7:53 to go here in the third period. It's a 3-3 tie between Canada and Slovakia.
They got my attention with all their talk about fees. But hey, fees don't tell the whole story. The tools and support that I get with RBC is what really matters to me. I'm in charge of my investing decisions and feeling confident.
Come on over. Bring your appetite. Bring a friend. Bring a few. Our home is your home. Let us give you the tour. Then you can relax. And a little later, we'll even put on a show. New Brunswick, always inviting.
AutoTrader has tons and tons of cars. You know, I like looking through the types of cars you can buy.
Using AutoTrader is such a no-brainer, which is good for Gio.
What?
Under 8 minutes left, it is a tie game thanks to this Libor Nemec goal in the third period. And Canada on their heels and bailed out by their goal, Thomas Milic. That is a huge save, staring down Mishak.
Trotsky was that face-off back to Notney. In for Meshar, shoots! And Philip Meshar stopped again by Milic. The face-off story is becoming a story here in this game.
And you know, they have Gaucher out there. They've tried different guys, and it's not working. Here we go, changing the line in large part because the face-off struggles of really all the top guys. Gaucher was the best Canadian centerman through 2 periods. The only one who was above 50%.
One of the best face-off guys in the OHL is Owen Beck. He just got here, though.
He's only played a couple of shifts. I don't think we'll see much more of him in this game.
Right, wins that from Petrovsky. Libor Nemec battles for it. Move back to the point. Sturback shoots, that goes high. Del Mastro gets to it. Hoffman kicks that back to Wright. Away comes Wright with Gunther. Shane Wright winds in, finds Dylan Gunther, drops it back to Hoffman. Back for Gunther. Gunther flips it back in front. That's tapped wide by Wright. Back at the point is Zellweger. Oh, Zellweger shoots. Giant save. Loose puck in front. Gunther reaching for it. Zellweger shoots. That's blocked. Zellweger gets away. Back a backhand shot stopped by Guyan. A big block there by Maxim Sturback.
Gutsy block. That does not feel good for Sturback, who's still in the ice, but the kickback from Hoffman cues up this rush. Wright drops one of the defenders, and then Canada can go to work in the offensive zone. And look at Slovakia collapsing. Everyone down around the front of the net and blocking everything. Ouch.
Oh.
Inner thigh, we'll call that one.
Yeah, the upper inner thigh.
But watch on the replay. Zellweger goes across the net. He's got Gunther backing out for the one-timer if he could just chip one to the far side.
Now Stankoven against Repchik for the face-off, and Repchik wins that cleanly. Pacho up ahead for Mishak. Mishak back for Baggio, loose in front, kicks out towards the goal, and Milic makes the stop. That likely wouldn't have counted.
Clean breakout off of one defensive zone draw. And I don't know. You don't want to find out. Leave it to the replays as Hines and Clark get caught off the rush.
So Stankoven for the face-off now against Dvorsky. Dvorsky gets a warning because his winger came in too soon. And Stankoven wins it cleanly back. Milic freezes that.
Ideally, in the defensive zone, you want the shot to be the same side as the ice. So it's a face-off's on the left side, you want a left shot. For that reason, so if you win it, you pull it to the corner, not to the net. They got Stankoven, whose strong side is his backhand, which is pulling the puck towards the net. And oftentimes, you put a righty in there, and they want to go forward on this for Slovakia, knowing that Stankoven's going back on it.
It's Petrovsky against Stankoven. Face-off won by Stankoven, picked up by Zellweger. Remember, Slovakia is doing this without Jaroslav Koski, the first overall pick in the last NHL draft. That's chipped by Waugh to the Slovak bench. 6:53 remaining here in the third period.
You can feel the tension. It is thick. And you can feel the belief from the Slovakian bench.
Building.
Growing as they've battled back to tie the game.
Sound of 10,000 people chewing their fingernails. Allen. Up in for Dean, who chips that down. Guyan plays it back around. On his Gaucher for Dean. Chips it back in front of Stapchuk. Drops that back. Allen across to Clark. Clark slides that back down to Gaucher. Now Dean back with it. Dean tried to center it. Picked up by Gaucher. Clark steps up. It was knocked by him by Shotek. And Stapchuk backed him up at the blue line. Allen up for Gaucher, chips it back down to Stapchuk, racing in towards the guy and knocks it away from him. Simon Nemeth being forced there by Dean. At the line, held by Hine. Saved the goal a moment ago. At the point, Zellweger chops at it, keeps it back alive, but it's knocked down by Simon Nemeth. Zellweger ranges back for it. Across he goes to Hine. Long lead pass, staying onside was Gunther. That was knocked down by Funtak. Takes the return pass from Nemeth. And chipped down by Mishak. Milic leaves it there for Hine. Baggio picks off that clearing attempt, but at the lines, moved by Kometz. Pass too far for Hine. Baggio plays it back in. Zellweger ranges back for Gunther. And Gunther lifts that high in the air. If it's still time for regulation, 10 minutes of overtime, 3-on-3, and then if necessary, a shootout. Zellweger up ahead for Gunther. Gunther, his man falls, moves it and shoots, and racing back was Kometz, going to stick on that and knock it away. Gunther saw a sliver of opportunity as Groh fell, but his D partner came back to save him.
Come on over. Bring your appetite. Bring a friend. Bring a few. Our home is your home. Let us give you the tour. Then you can relax. And a little later, we'll even put on a show. New Brunswick, always inviting.
Hey Siri, send Fred $20 for some barbecue. He's about to get smoked.
Switch to RBC and get the new AirPods Pro at no cost.
Our hero Paul loves to help others, but today he's helping protect himself against pneumococcal pneumonia, which can put you in the hospital. He got the Prevnar 20 vaccine. Yes, even heroes should think protection. Ask about Prevnar 20 today.
3 with 5:13 left. We're getting the time of game where somebody can be the hero. Any little break, any little opportunity. Dylan Gunther thinks he has one off a toe pick from Gross. Metz gets over to turn him aside. And you want to err on the side of shots on the net. Don't want to overpass. Third game, warm day. Definitely want to put as many pucks on the net as possible.
Stankoven for the face-off against Petrovsky. Scramble draw. Picked up by Joshua Waugh. Throws it towards the goal. And Guyan makes the stop. He's faced 43 shots this evening.
What a story he has become in this tournament. Not even dressed, the third goaltender. He's taken over. And
still wearing his North American Hockey League equipment, moved to Green Bay of the USHL in December. Bedard picks that free. Connor Bedard pivots back, throws it in front for Stankoven, jammed it short side. Waugh back on it. Trying to knock that free. Petrovsky breaks out with Meshar. Slides that down. Milic leaves that there for Del Mastro. Up ahead for Bedard. Connor Bedard winds it across the line. In comes Bedard. Poke check there by Funtek. Now Bedard throws it back in front. Bouncing puck picked up by Waugh. Waugh backhand shot. That's blocked. Loose puck. Stankoven. Steven past Bedard. Shoots. Oh, what a save! Rebound put away by Bedard. A game-saving stop by Guyan. What a save. Zellweger fires it, and Guyan was tied up with his defenseman for a moment.
Dvorsky had his stick through the skate blade of Guyan.
And now Meshar winds in. Meshar moves in. Zellweger takes that away. Funtek might have saved the game there for Slovakia. Fired down now. And that's icing call against Canada. Wright thought he'd won that race.
He did not. And what a chance on Bedard's stick of all people. Brilliant look by Stankoven to get over. And Funtek challenges it and then blocks it into his shin pad. That's a great job meeting Bedard at the point of release, as opposed to trying to block it. And then look at Dvorsky's stick. It's stuck in the skate blade of Guyan. He puts his stick right through the tuck holder. He's dragging him around and had to extricate it.
Repchik wins the faceoff. Bacho with a shot. It was blocked. Right goes rink wide. Picked up by Clark. Ahead to Hoffman. In comes Hoffman. Bumped there by Kometz. And now Mishak with the puck in behind him. It's taken away by Clark. Clark shovels that down to the Slovak zone. 3:45 to go in regulation. Moved ahead by Repchik. Back down to the Canadian zone. Allen being flushed there by Mishak. Plays it around to Clark. And Clark flips it high in the air. Dean looking for it. Batted down by Ostapchuk. In comes Zach Ostapchuk. Loose puck, and Dean races to that. Sturback plays it along the boards. Knocked down by Allen. A race for it now. Back goes Gaucher and pokes that back to Zellweger. Gaucher up ahead for Dean. Bouncing puck goes Ostapchuk. And moved by Zellweger back down the ice. Icing called against the Slovaks.
Connor Bedard has done almost nothing wrong this entire tournament, and he just expects this to go in every single time. Had to corral it, and Funtek just finds a way to get a piece. He cannot believe it. Rare show of emotion. He's very cool, very composed as he plays. Tells you how badly he wants that next one.
Face off in the Slovak zone. Stankoven, Waugh, Bedard back out there. It'll be Dvorsky for the face-off, the 17-year-old against Stankoven. And Stankoven wins it back to Bedard. Shoots! Hit balls off a leg. Del Mastro flips it back in the corner. Hit the linesman, bounces to Bedard. Feeds that back to Zellweger. Back down low to Stankoven. Stankoven, wraparound try. That goes right through the crease. Bedard back on it. Plays it back around. And Dvorsky lifts it back down to the Canadian zone. 2:45 to go in regulation. Del Mastro back to pick it up. That long lead pass missed. And icing called against Canada. The face-off back down to the Canadian zone. And once again, the face-off will be critical.
These icings on his long stretch plays. Puck just skips up on Del Mastro, and he sails it past Bedard. Not a fatigue thing, but when you've been struggling on the draw, there's a lot of pressure on your defensive zone coverage.
Petrovsky for the face-off against Stankoven.
He's gotten the better of Stankoven in today's game.
Off the draw, control by Slovakia. Simon Nemec plays it back down to Meshar. He's tied up along the boards by Zellweger. Bedard's got it, along with Waugh and Stankoven jumping in. Bedard moves in and chips that down to Waugh. Now scooped back up and brought up by Petrovsky. Meshar for Petrovsky. Winds in, feeds that back down. Hines reaching for it. Hines reaches there for Bedard. Took a bad bounce off the stanchion. At the point, held by Kometz. Back across the Gross. Shoots, that goes high. Kept alive by Kometz. Hines being forced there by Repchik, but it's picked up by Clark. Up ahead for Stankoven. Stankoven up for Clark. Canada's changing as Clark moves in. Clark posts up, holds and shoots. And the save is made by Guyan. Face off in the Slovak zone. 1:51 to go in the third period.
Brent Clark has kept his head about him in this third period when a lot of Canada's plays have been around the glass or up and out. He's managed to handle it cleanly, try to find a passing outlet or skate it himself and allowing Canada to move it a little bit cleaner up the ice.
Right for the face-off. It'll be a Repchik for Slovakia. Again, a clean face-off win for the Slovak. Pacho looked ahead for Mishak, but now flips it back down to the Canadian zone. Zellweger back for it. Olin Zellweger. Pass back for Del Mastro. He finds Othman. Brendan Othman winds it across the line, drops it off to right. Right, shoots, bang, save, loose puck in front. And Natney race to that, now picked up by Othman. Throws it back up for a shot. Pass block, go to backhand shot, that goes wide. Othman back on it for Gunther. Feeds that back to Del Mastro for Gunther. Throws it back behind the goal for Wright. He's bumped off the puck. Repchik plays it around. And now Mishak with it. High in the air and back to center ice. Held by Del Mastro. Back to Zellweger. Zellweger fires that down on Guyan. In comes Waugh back after it. Out there with Stankoven. And now Clark with it. Clark got that go off to Cora. Now picked up by Stankoven. In comes Stankoven. His man falls. Stankoven throws it back. Waugh missed that. Bedard shoots. Hit the goal post. Waugh back with it. Here's Stankoven. Logan Stankoven moves in. Back with it. Stankoven drops it back. A hard shot taken by Hines. And a save made by Guyan. And a cross check at the end of the play against Slovakia. Canada's going to the power play with 34 seconds to go in the third period.
Wow is right. What a sequence. Stankoven on a string, setting up the shooters. Gets out to Bedard, and he goes short side. He's got the spot. He's got Guyan beat, but he rings it off the bar. The heel release. And up and out. Play continues. He goes back to the front of the net, and at the end of the
game is under review to watch the penalty, yeah?
So Nemec is being assessed a 5-minute match penalty for cross-checking. They'll review it.
So this is a cross-check. I mean, if it gets him in the... So much of this has happened in this game. Remember the first period. If that's in his head, though, that's a 5.
Yeah.
If it's in his back, it's a 2. I think that's essentially what they're going to check.
And Nemec is furious in the penalty box.
The officials are 3 feet away from him, watching or evaluating the review. Now, 34 seconds left in the game. 5-on-4. This penalty will carry over to overtime, which will then become a 4-on-3. So that is let alone the 5 minutes. If that's in the head, though, that's not a 5. That's a 2. That gets him in the 1 and the 6. It's a penalty, but I don't think this will end up being a 5.
The referees, Jakub Schindel of Czechia, Mark Evert of Germany, watching this in conjunction with the video replay officials upstairs who are giving them the looks.
This also gives the same group that just finished their shift a full 2 minutes to get rest. It's like a timeout for Canada.
Diving, that's fucking diving.
And you hear what Simon Nemec thinks. That's diving. I don't think so. You put a cross-check into my name bar, I'm going to fall down.
Lobbying as best he can to the officials who are, as you said, but 4 feet away from him. All right, so they've made their decision.
Don't think this will end up being a 5. Likely a 2.
And here's Evert with the call.
Team Slovakia number 7, 2 minutes for cross-checking.
So it's a 2-minute penalty to Nemitz.
Which is the right call.
And now he'll sit and sweat.
It's been a focal point for the night. Bench is up. Face-offs on the power play. With only 34 seconds left in the game.
Right, Austin. Gunther, the forwards. It'll be right against Repchik for the face-off.
Team Slovakia penalty number 7, Shimon Nemitz. 2 minutes for cross-checking. Time of the penalty 19:26. Ekip Slovakia Wisława Huset, Shimon Nemitz.
Off the face-off, a scramble draw. Now Rose arguing that he put his hand on it. He's laying on the puck.
See, the thing is, what are you going to do? You're going to spear him to get it back.
Austin works it free. Gunther with it. And Zellweger has to retreat. Now fired down the ice by Repchik. Zellweger back to pick it up as time winds down. Chip back down in Canada of 1 minute and 26 seconds of power play time to start overtime. Canada arguing that Repchik used his hand on that, which would be a penalty.
Shane Wright was right on top of it. Nah, I mean, he put his hand close to it, but I don't think it's underneath his stomach more than it is his hand. Now, you better... Well, they have 4-on-3 here to start the overtime.
White knuckle time multiplied. Overtime coming in Halifax.
What are we doing for the Chevrolet Good Deeds Cup this year? As much as we can! That's good! What about donating clothes? That's good. Washing cars? Got Mom an ice cream? Home for holidays, fight not on time. 3 hours late, chair won't recline. Stuck in middle seat, twins left and right. Hyperactive feet, parents not in sight. Have a merry, merry, merry snooze fest.
Casper has the perfect rest from holiday stress, with up to $650 towards a mattress. 'Tis the season for snoozing. Join over 2 million happy sleepers by shopping at casper.ca or Sleep Country near you.
So here are the overtime rules. In the quarters, semifinal bronze medal game, 10 minutes of 3-on-3, followed by a shootout if necessary. There is no shootout in the gold medal game.
So that's how we got here. Start the game. Connor Bedard with a record-setting goal as he got Canada going pretty early off a turnover. Eventually, Canada built a 3-1 lead on the Zach Ostapchuk wrister. But cue the comeback for Slovakia as Bacho gets one late in the second, and then in the third period, a really nice effort by Meshar finds Libor Nemitz for his second. And then there were some crazy sequences down the stretch, but nothing until the penalty late. 1:26 left on the power play for Canada. 4-on-3 to start overtime.
Canada's last loss in the quarterfinals was in the 2019 tournament in Vancouver, an overtime defeat to Finland. But they'll start this overtime period of a power play for 1:26 seconds. Wright, Bedard, Gunther, and Zellweger. Repchik wins it cleanly, and Puntek sends it down. Zellweger drops it back to Bedard. Rink wide to Gunther, who has a power play goal in the game. Gunther slings that back to Zellweger. Across to Bedard. Connor Bedard. Back for Gunther. Has a look back at Bedard. And Bedard holds and winds out. Less than a minute to go on the power play. Here's Gunther with it. Drops it back. Zellweger is shot off the stick over the glass and out. And that ramped off the stick of Repchik, who quickly snaps that thing in half and gets a new one.
Give Repchik credit. He's playing the top three guys by himself, and he's got Zellweger taking a one-timer from just 10 feet inside the blue line and is able to get a block on it mid-flight. Canada's got to push that a little bit deeper between Gunther and Bedard.
And right for the face-off on the other side against Repchik.
Got to win this one if you're Shane Wright.
He does. And now a race for the puck. And Sturback sends it down. Zellweger winds it ahead to Bedard. 40 seconds to go on the power play. Connor Bedard winds in. Bedard pivots back and drops that for Zellweger. Zellweger for Bedard. Moves it and shoots. Guy gets a glove on that. Bedard knocks it loose for Wright. Drops that back for Zellweger. In for Wright. Back for Zellweger. Across to Bedard. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Bedard moves it in for Wright. Shoot! Powers. Gunther feeds it back to Bedard. Now Bedard winds back in. Bedard looks back to Gunther. Feeds across to Zellweger. Back for Gunther. Time winding down on power play. Bedard back for Gunther. Looks across to Zellweger. Penalty's over. Here's Bedard. Walks it and fires around the line. Nemitz out of the penalty box. 2 shots on goal for Canada on that power play. Lead pass to Bedard. Canada changing. And they call it offside at the Slovak line.
That is the second post for Canada late in the game. It was Bedard. Then it's Shane Wright off the pad, off the bar, and out. Canada finally gets the puck down towards the net. And he's got the goalie beat, but not the crossbar. And so now it'll be back to 3-on-3. When Nemitz came out of the box, it was 4-on-4 for a little bit. And a timeout being called by Slovakia. The 4-on-3 took a long time to get set up. They had the first attempt, and by the time they got back in there, basically a minute of the minute and a half had been spent. And here was their best opportunity with Shane Wright, the captain. Oh, so close.
His parents, Simon and Tanya, living every moment here.
So Slovakia had their top guys out there killing. Right. They're tired. Now it's 3-on-3. Timeout for Slovakia. Reset. Get their normal 3-on-3 rotation. They just played an overtime game. Then their last game against Switzerland. So they've been here.
Yeah, went to a shootout. Guyan has stopped the last 23 shots he's faced in the game. Stankoven. Bedard and Zellweger for Canada. Petrovsky along with Meshar and Nemitz. In comes Zellweger. Winds in as Bedard and Stankoven come in late. Stankoven knocks that down. Stankoven falls. Chance now for Nemitz. Looks ahead and Zellweger takes that away from Petrovsky. Banks it ahead. Bedard reaching for it. Pokes it by Nemitz. In comes Bedard. Connor Bedard stays on it. Shields off Nemitz. And Bedard works that free. Nemitz stays on him. Stankoven reaching for it. Pokes it loose. Stankoven works out. Goes between the legs. Stankoven back with it. For Zellweger. That's chopped away. Chance now 2-on-1. But Stankoven back defending. Knocked that away. 2-on-1 the other way. Zellweger to Bedard. Connor Bedard winds in. Bedard still with the backhand shot. Guyan saves over his shoot. Pad save by Guyan. Saved the game right there. Bedard drops it back. Quick with a shot. That's blocked by Petrovsky. And Wright taps it back to Zellweger. Lead pass to Bedard. Slovaks are changing. Bedard in, shoots, Guyan save. And Dvorsky knocks the rebound away. Canada changing now. Dvorsky brings it ahead. In comes Dvorsky. Shoots. Nemitz knocks that away. There's Nemitz with it. Poked out and Dvorsky picks it up. Dvorsky back for Punta. Slides that back down. Libor Nemeth. Punta, 7 to go in the overtime. Moves it back across the top. Clarkson going to stick on him. Dvorsky works in. Being watched by Wright. Dvorsky still on it. Dvorsky watched there by Wright. And Dvorsky being shuttled by Clark takes it back to center ice. Wright heads off. On comes Hoffman. And the Slovaks will change as well. Here is Sturbach with it. Sturbach. Lines across the line on Zellweger. Sturbach still on it. And Zellweger took that away. Zellweger trying to work it free. Hoffman reaching for it as well. And now Sikora trying to knock it free. He and Zellweger collide. Sikora pulls it loose. And Sikora swings back to center. And it's 6 of the 7 overtime shots so far. Repchik works in. In on Hoffman. Repchik still with it. Being watched by Waugh. And Repchik works that free. Rolls back to center ice. Waugh bearing in. Now Clark reaching for it. Sent rink wide. In comes Meshar. Winds it on Clark. Meshar with a check. Feeds it back in front. He just missed Petrovsky. Simon Nemeth plays that rink wide. Meshar again. Shoots. Finish save. Rebound. Stop. He makes point blank. As Petrovsky had a golden chance to win it for Slovakia.
Slovakia being very patient, waiting for their chances. They finally get one. A back door, a double tip and rebound. Petrovsky gets it up, but Milic snags it with his glove. This is after Connor Bedard late in his shift had one. Zellweger, another Guyan, doing all kinds of acrobatics to keep it out. And there's the famous dragon pull from Bedard as well. But you see with how patient Slovakia is, how important this draw is. It's hard to get the puck back on 3-on-3.
Dvorsky against Stankoven for the faceoff. Stankoven wins it back for Zellweger. Being watched by Dvorsky. Zellweger, rink wide to Bedard. 1-on-1 with Simon Nemeth. In comes Bedard. Has a look back, banks that to the sideboards, gathers it back up. Spinning puck knocked away by Simon Nemeth. Throws that back down to the Canadian zone. And a race back, Zellweger gets back. Icing called against Slovakia. Nemeth is exhausted, but he'll have to stay back on.
We play on as Thomas Milic doesn't want to be overshot by Guyan. This is something to make sure to stay upright and track the puck off your pad. Take it away from Petrovsky.
Stankoven against Dvorsky for the faceoff. Stankoven wins that back to Clark. Frank Clark in for Bedard. He mishandled it for a moment. The puck goes back to center ice. Nemeth looking for a chance. Lead pass for Stankoven. He drops it back to Bedard with a head of steam. In comes Bedard. Winds in. Bedard with a look. Guyan down. Bedard still with it. Throws that back to Clark. Frank Clark. Tied up. Drops it back. Here comes Bedard. Bedard shoots. Guyan the save. And Bedard holds the line. Bedard back with it. Slides in again. Bedard talks right in. Overtime winner. Sends Canada to the semis. Bring the building down tonight.
This kid is out of this world. Check it out. There's one. There's two. And one more. He dances the entire team in overtime. It must be his 5th shot. After so many chances, he gets it back, and he wants to try guys one-on-one. You should not be able to do this against this level of competition. Connor Bedard.
On the night he overtakes Jordan Eberle for the most goals for Canada World Junior, he does what Eberle did. He scores big goals.
That is a goal for the ages. We will see this one for years. Come on. Come on. Connor Bedard putting on a show.
Devastation for the Slovaks, who gave the Canadians all they can handle.
It had to be him.
It's his
all
tournament.
those looks. It's his tournament. It's his world. We're just living in it.
And so Canada onto the semis against the United States.
Team Canada 56.
So in addition to the player of the game presentations here, we will also get the top 3 players of the tournament for each team as selected by their management staff.
And the euphoria that Canada's feeling is only matched by the agony that Slovakia fought so hard.
Simon Nemec played his heart out. What a player he is going to be. What a player he already is. So now first the player of the game presentations.
The turtle, our Mother Earth. The salmon, to show resilience. The eagle, for perseverance and the dream's chase. And finally, the hungry coyote, who runs in packs, thriving and surviving through the toughest of storms, and the one who brings laughter and play. The awards will be presented by Olympic medalist and Team Canada para-hockey captain, Tyler McGregor.
Watch these scenes, all you can do is...
The best player for Team Slovakia, et le numéro 20, Libor Nemec.
Libor Nemec scored the big goal in the 3rd period to tie it up.
Had one earlier off the shin pad, a 2-goal night for him.
Slovakia has still never beaten Canada at the World Junior. Came really, really close.
A save by Milic on Petrosky to give them a chance to be a hero.
And a numero 6, Connor Bedard.
He's going to need a stick bag just for the player of the game awards he's getting.
It's his 3rd one. He get a 6-point game where he didn't get it.
And now we'll get the top 3 players of the tournament for Slovakia and for Canada.
The 3 best players of the 2023 IIHF Ice Hockey World Junior Championship of Team Slovakia will be awarded with a watch from Tissot. The 3 best player awards is selected by each team and will be presented by Tyler McGregor. The 3 best players for Team Slovakia are number 30, Adam Gajan.